here we are with the Cave. Hosted by the Cave.
Best of 5 podcast.
It is your boy, Kingfuyoshi, and my man.
Nerf, you know me. We are here back once again, and we're having a good time. We're going to talk about some interesting topics today. Obviously, we got a lot on the plate. Lots of stuff happened this past week, so definitely a lot to talk about. But of course, as you know, we are here at the Cave Fairfax, the premier esports organization here at the esports.
Oh, wow, you make it sound so good. Ooh,
exactly.
I like
You got to represent that.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and cover the brackets first.
Yeah.
All right, so to start us off, we've got Tekken 7's bracket here at the Cave. We've got Mr. Wolfie in first, Gene in second, Gatos X in third, who I've actually never heard of, Tao in fourth, Adam Fist in fifth, also tying with Silver Fox Flame, Corvux in seventh, along with the Cutter.
The Cutter.
Yes, Cutter actually plays Dragon Ball too. He's actually
Okay. Very cool.
hella nice at it.
Very cool.
Hella nice at it. All right.
Does he play the cooler?
He doesn't play cool. He plays Bardock.
That's unfortunate. Well, Bardock is definitely not a cutter.
I mean,
Bardock is more of a fist specialist.
yeah,
a spinning fist specialist. Everyone knows what Bardock can do.
Hey,
God.
bro. Honestly, with that dash though, that's pretty close to it.
There's a reason he's top tier. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a reason he's top tier.
That boy, nice. All right. We have Ultimate for the Cave. This past Thursday, we've got Matador winning his first Cave local.
That was hype.
Shout out to the boy.
I was hyped for Matador.
Tengu, no slouch himself, coming in second.
Yeah. You know, Tengu almost pulled out that losers run.
Was it that close?
It was that because so it went to game 5 in the reset.
Okay, that's what's up.
It was close. Like he'd been like, so Matador won game 1. Tengu was up the next 2, and then it was just, it was all downhill from there.
It happens like that. We got Jeb with 2 Bs in third, File taking fourth.
Yeah.
Zerom taking fifth,
Mm-hmm.
along with Zephyr, and we've got Alternus and Beth in 7th place. So a me sword fighter and Little Mac.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. So Alternus also plays me sword fighter.
Does he really?
He does play me sword fighter.
Did they do the mirror?
No. They didn't actually play.
Okay,
that's the thing. So they didn't play each other. Alternus mostly plays Little Mac once he gets farther in bracket. So that's what he says he's much better at. But of course, like when he went against me, it was me sword fighter because he knows I'm trash.
Hey, bro.
That's okay. He doesn't know I'm trash, but he found out pretty quick.
He cracked the code.
He was like, oh, okay, cool. I can just stay me sword fighter. Okay, cool, we're good. He doesn't know what to do. It's like, yeah, you're right. I don't know what to do against me sword fighter. Like, you're right. It's like, that is correct.
It's okay, dog. All right. We have Xanadu's melee singles. So we've got Jerry in first. Our man Bobby Big Balls.
He got second though.
He got second.
That's unfortunate for Bobby.
Yes, he actually tweeted out about him getting second. Jerry parks right next to him, and he's like,
"Oh, very good."
He beats me and then walks with me to my car to remind me.
That's right. All
right,
it's the salt, man. It's real.
That is some real salt.
It's real salt.
We've got Tyler Swift in third, Seabass in fourth.
Okay.
Waddle in fifth, along with the Brig, and we've got B's and G's Louise tying for 7th.
Is that B's question mark?
B's question mark, yes.
Of course, it's B's question mark.
Do you know B's question mark?
No, but we heard that name last week.
This is true.
Like, these are all names that we heard last week, so it's like this is definitely something that I'm not surprised to see all of these names again. These are probably like
the established veterans.
The established veterans of the just like we have the Cave. The Cave always has like this was a bit of an unusual week for the Cave Ultimate at least. But for Melee, it's like, they have general consistency.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of people who play Melee. I guess there is a lot of people who play Melee, but not a whole lot anymore.
This is true. All right. And then for Xanadu Street Fighter 5, they had Wolfgang in first, who, if I'm not correct, he's the best Blanca player in the U.S. If I'm not incorrect. I actually had the pleasure of meeting him.
Very
cool
nice.
Dude.
Very nice.
Blanca's kind of dirty, so makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ludovic in second.
Okay.
Richmond in third.
Okay.
Metro M in fourth.
Okay.
Get Wrecked and OG Yon tied for 5th.
Well, I guess he didn't. I mean, he got wrecked because he got 5th. Well,
hey man, he probably wrecked a few people along the way.
A few people. Yeah, that's true. But eventually, you will get wrecked yourself.
This is true. Katajin and Silent Rob tied for 7th.
Silent Rob.
And then their pools for Tekken 7, They actually have Victim of Ritual, who I don't actually think
Victim of Ritual. That's a name.
he is apparently fire.
Okay.
And that shows here because in Tekken 7 he got first. And Ludovic actually got second. So he actually took second in Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7. Shout out Ludovic.
Well, looks like everyone else was a victim of everyone else was a victim of him, I guess.
Exactly.
He had a lot of victims that night.
4, I do believe. Halo got third. Fourth was Soul. I don't know how to say that word. What that look like to you?
Sol Naciente.
There we go. I'm not
It's
cultured.
definitely Spanish. Sol is son, but I don't know what Naciente means. Maybe we'll get something. I don't know. Anyone who speaks Spanish? I don't know. Google Translate.
Tying for fifth, we got Curb and Trizzy the Rapper, which we saw Trizzy the Rapper's name last week. And then seventh place goes to Dude Master Supreme and Zario. Yep.
Zario?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Very interesting. And I don't know any of those people play, unfortunately.
That's fair.
It'd be like that.
And then also from Xanadu, we have their Ultimate, or Smash Ultimate.
Ah, yes.
Bracket. So ZD in first.
Yes, ZD with the win over Dexter.
The Man Seagull Joe in second.
Okay.
Burnt Socks in third. Pink Fresh in fourth. Jay Lim and Osiris tying for fifth. And what is that?
Schniggly, yeah. You know Schniggly?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I haven't seen it spelled, and that looked real rough.
Right. So Schniggly is like we just talked about it last week. He was the new Bowser man that
doesn't play Jigglypuff, and I'm disappointed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So Schniggly and Disgaea got tied for seventh.
Yeah, Disgaea is actually a Game & Watch main.
And I think we covered all of them. We did not cover the Caves Melee.
Okay, Caves Melee.
The Caves Melee first goes to Juicebox, second goes to Fortissimus.
Okay.
Third goes to Triple B. Fourth goes to Seabass.
Triple B, is that Bobby Big Balls? It's probably a different guy.
No, it probably is Bobby Big Balls.
Really? You think so?
It's just BBB. It's probably Bobby
Very
Big
possible.
Balls.
Very possible.
Fifth goes to Forest and I9K. And seventh was tied between Bird and Hazy.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. And those are all our brackets we've got to cover.
All right, cool. So other than that, so the things that stood out to me the most was ZD having a return to form in Ultimate at Xanadu. That was pretty clutch for him. A lot of people have been saying, like, oh, you know, he's a little bit more consistent these days, or inconsistent, rather. He's more inconsistent these days. But, you know, he knows how to pull it out and win a bracket, you know. Obviously, we're all feeling the slowdown after school starts. So it's like, you know, the numbers are starting to drop a little bit on locals, but it's no less stacked. It's no less stacked.
This is true. Didn't CD win last week as well?
I don't think so. I think Dexter won last week.
Okay, I know he was definitely in top 8. I remember seeing his name.
Well, wait, was this on Tuesday or Friday?
Tuesday.
Okay, this was Tuesday because last night I think ZD also won.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
ZD,
I think
ZD got it like that.
Yeah, ZD got it like that. So he's been having a good week, I guess.
Hey, man,
having a good week because I think last night he did beat. It was him and Dexter, and I think Dexter got second. And then that was pretty clutch because everybody knows like Dexter's been really dominating for the past couple months. So it's interesting to see him, you know, do really, really well, or ZD rather, seeing ZD do really well, and then beating someone who, you know, might have been a bit of a demon for him in bracket. But
that's fair.
You know, it's hard because, you know, as someone who plays both Wolf and Fox, going against someone who plays just solo Wolf, it's like kind of tough because Wolf beats both of those.
I don't like Wolf at all. His frame data is his end lag.
Well, you're in the right
does
state.
not exist.
You are in the right state because we don't have to deal with those guys as much.
Yeah,
just yikes.
We just got to deal with Yoshis.
Yoshis.
All the Yoshis. All the eggs.
See, they also have to deal with more Yoshis than we do. Like, we actually have to deal with fewer Yoshis here.
Yeah, I think we have like 3.
Yeah, we don't have that many.
Yeah, that's fair.
In Maryland, they have like 5 at least.
Back in the OG days when Ultimate first started, what was it? The MD versus VA, and it was like 4 Yoshis.
God, yeah, it was. I know, because literally there were like someone on both sides, and one of the ones like Coney was like, "Look at this dumb character! Look at this Yoshi's bad!" And then of course like eventually like Maryland pulls out their Yoshi player, and he's like, "Wow, what a great character!" And I'm like, "You suck!" Oh my god! But that's the rivalry, isn't that like the hype? That's part of the crew battle. Like you can't not talk smack if you're a commentator in a crew battle. Like you can't.
Nah, dog. You got to show favorites.
You got to represent. Yeah, exactly. That is the one time where commentator bias is the most important thing you can do right now.
Yes, that is fair. And then what was it? It wasn't this week, but the week before. I think I actually got the pleasure of watching a little bit of the match on Tuesday. And I actually saw Parappa make it rather far with his Ken. That Ken was looking spicy.
This past Tuesday? I think he went to back. I think
Not
he went
this
to
past,
school. Yeah, exactly. The week before, right? He's back at school now, unfortunately. But yeah, right before he went back to school, he had a good week, and killed it with the.
That's a good way to end it out.
He just loves getting characters that punch you. Meat Brawler, Ken. I guess Hero doesn't really punch you, but he punches you in the gut. That's a different kind of punch.
Did you get thwacked? That's a gut punch.
that's the thwack right there.
That, you know what it is?
Sucks the wind out of you.
Hero is the Vegeta of Super Smash.
Interesting.
Because Vegeta is known for his signature gut punch. Think about that. In every single arc, whether he's gotten punched into the gut or punched someone else, you have seen those pupils vanish, that spit. That spit take the one of those.
Yeah. The bruh moment. I know exactly what you mean.
What is my favorite one? I think my favorite one is Vegeta going Super Saiyan 1 against Cell.
Okay.
In his second form. Because I remember that he gets punched in the stomach and the Cell's just like,
yeah,
what happened with his
exactly. And he throws up like 18 or something like that. Yeah, he hits him so hard he throws up 18 or something like that. I was like, okay, that's hype. That's hype. And then, of course, but then you have, like, Vegeta also gets, like, that's true. So it's like Vegeta is, like, all or nothing, right?
Exactly.
So that's exactly right. Hero is absolutely all or nothing because it's like, sometimes you get that hard gut punch. Sometimes 18 breaks your arm. You're like, oh, that's a thing. Oh, I went Super Saiyan. You just
see what happens
dunked me.
What happens is the menu is the gut punch, right?
I guess so, yeah. Anything that comes out of the menu is like the
gut punch.
The Gallic gun.
But the rest of the time, they're straight styling on you.
Yeah, fair.
Because that's what happens to Vegeta. Vegeta comes in good every movie. Resurrection F. Vegeta comes into Frieza, starts slapping up on Frieza, and he's like, you know what? You're not strong enough. Level up. Gets slapped.
That's true.
Cell. You're not strong enough.
That is
level
true.
up.
That is true.
Smacks the taste out this man's mouth. We don't even see him for the rest of the arc.
Yes.
We just see Goku let his son get beat like a ragdoll.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z is very cyclical. Like, let's be real. We've seen the same tropes over and over and over again. It's like they keep it simple and they don't change the formula very much. But let's see. We have actually a lot of different topics to talk about today. So major things that happened this week. So what we'll be talking about today, first we'll be talking about the Tekken patch.
Yes.
That's really important.
We actually have someone here for that.
And we do have a Tekken specialist here to give us some of his insight. And then we also have the new character for Smash Ultimate, obviously Banjo and Kazooie. They are out. It was kind of like a shadow drop. That was a really big thing. The patch notes are also out, so we also have not a very extensive balance change.
I was about to say,
but they exist. There's some out there.
Yes.
I mean, the major thing we'll definitely talk about.
We can talk about all the patch notes. We have
for sure
that much time,
and we can talk about Terry as well. The next character, another FGC character, but keeping in line with the FGC mode. We'll just go ahead and get right into it. We'll start talking about Tekken.
All right.
So King.
All right. So we're actually
I'm switching out.
All right.
Switching out. We got our Tekken expert. He'll be helping you out and giving us lots of great info.
All right. So in case you are unaware of what's happening, Tekken 7, I do believe, is having their update coming out. I was told Sunday. It might be a little later in the week, but they do have a huge patch coming out that has a lot of damage changes, a lot of frame data changes, and a few characters actually got a few more moves. So
every single character is getting new moves. Actually.
Every single character.
Indeed, yes.
Okay. All right. So tell me what you know.
So it's a lot of what you said. There's going to be massive overhauls around a lot of the characters. A lot of them are getting new moves. So what they did is they looked at characters and they looked at where they struggled. What can they not do? And to compensate for that, like, for example, Armor King, for example. He has a devastating new low. It'll knock down. It'll set up for excellent damage on their wake up. And this is really good because before that, he had no way to force people to crouch. And in Tekken, a lot of the time when you play Tekken, your goal is to get your opponent to crouch.
Okay.
Because your mids are where the damage is at. In most cases, anyway.
Okay.
So they're really adding more versatility to a lot of the cast.
Okay. So I actually did look at it briefly. I saw that a few of Akuma's moves actually make him more positive and the opponent more negative on frame data. So why would they switch it up like that?
What do you mean? I was able to look through Akuma's frame data.
I want to say it was this F2-3 actually made them. It was +4 frames at the end of the move, and now it's +7, and they were -2 frames, and now they're -4. So why make such a big change to something so simple, I guess?
Well, they're trying to speed up the game in a sense.
Okay.
So when you get that hit, instead of being +5, you're now +7. To put it in perspective, every character's jabs is frame 10. So if you hit them with your forward 2-3 and you're +7, the other guy actually cannot do anything. If he does, he is going to get hit. He has to guess what your next attack option is going to be.
Okay.
And to compensate for that, they're going to make it a little more unsafe on block.
Okay, so it sounds like they're trying to implement, like, you don't want to get hit nearly as much. You don't want to block. You want to kind of dance in and outside of each other's zones more so than you did before.
Right.
So, like, running up block is probably not your best idea anymore.
Right.
Wow, they're taking that away?
Well, that's always going to be core Tekken. Like, the point of Tekken will always be to be not the second one to throw out an attack, but you'll want to be playing at a range where you can make the other guy whiff.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I understand that. At the very least, whether your buttons are fast or not, if you don't block it, it's still going to have the same end results.
Right.
Okay, that's understandable. I was curious as to why such a big change? Why so late in the game?
Well, the game's only grown since it's grown out, really. It's the only game to consecutively gain entrance year after year at EVO.
Okay.
Every other game will have probably 100 or 200 less entrants. Tekken, for 3 years in a row now, has had more entrants than it had the previous year.
Okay.
Harada himself even said that they wanted to start production on the next game, but they kind of had to halt that because of how many people would just love Tekken 7.
Yeah, I was really curious because I played. Did I play Tekken 6? I did play Tekken 6. I played Tekken 6, and I was curious as to, like, these changes minus. I would say that when you get a new game, you get a lot more moves rather than just 1 or 2 new moves.
Right.
But it kind of seems like they're just making a new game.
It really does, yeah. This game is vastly different than it was on launch. I went to Summer Jam last weekend, and they actually had one set up there that was launch day Tekken.
Launch day Tekken.
Well, it didn't even have, like, the DLC character spots. It had, the original character select screen.
That's what's up.
And it felt like I was playing a brand new video game. I completely forgot that game existed.
So, are these changes for the better or for the worse?
Definitely for the better. For the most part, a lot of characters, they're improving their quality of life in a match. Like, they're taking little things they have and just expanding them to make them feel a little more satisfying to play.
Okay. One thing that I was curious about is I feel like Tekken 7 is the first game that's actually released multiple season passes or character passes. I think before when they had announced their Season 2 pass, I think right after that Dragon Ball had done it, but I hadn't seen any other fighting game release multiple season passes. It's usually about one, and then they're like, all right, on to the next game.
Well,
but
it was kind of Street Fighter V that started that trend.
Was it? Okay.
Mostly because that game more or less released unfinished. Not to the fault at to the slight fault at Capcom, but people were so eager to play that game. They said, Capcom, just release this unfinished game so we can play it. We haven't had a good Street Fighter in a while, and they still don't.
Is it that bad?
It's not that bad. It depends on who you ask.
Okay, that's fair.
But
I'm not a Street Fighter connoisseur, so I'm not gonna rag on it. But
it has its faults. It has some things going for it too. But it's a very interesting case. But that game, with its massive success on season passes, of course, other games are going to follow suit.
Yes. Actually, Smash just announced that they're going to do another
Smash is going to have a season 2.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Now, do you think this helps in the longevity of the game, or should they really just, like, kind of scrap it and give us another game?
I think it depends on the game itself.
Okay.
Like, take Street Fighter V, for example. There are a lot of people that only play that game because it has the name Street Fighter on it. If
Very
that
true.
game was called anything else, if it had the same exact characters but reskinned to not be Capcom characters, I don't think that game would be as popular as it is.
That is fair.
If a game can't say that, or if a game can say people would play our game even if it didn't have the legacy series behind it, then you can prolong that game with season passes, DLC, updates, all that. If your game can't say that anymore, I think that's the point when it's time to work on a new project.
Okay. Do you think Sam Show is going to hop on this bandwagon of multiple season passes, or do you think they're just going to stick with the one?
I think they already confirmed they're going to be doing a second season
Wow.
after this, after these characters come out.
And Soul Calibur just confirmed it too. So
Yeah, Soul Calibur's interesting, actually. When Soul Calibur 6 came out, the devs were against doing multiple seasons. They just wanted to do their however many characters from launch and just leave it at that, let the game exist.
yeah, that's fair.
But the game got so much traction and so much support from the community that they were kind of driven to.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point you kind of need to release other things just to keep the game kind of relevant. Because it seems like if you don't release patch notes, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, the game kind of stagnates. Like I feel like that's where a lot of Dragon Ball players are now. Because Goku GT dropped and then they're like, well, we're playing,
Well,
or we're
game's
working
over.
on Guilty Gear. So we're getting no more patch notes till I do believe the end of the year is what Dragon Ball told them.
I think so, yeah.
So that kind of puts people in a rough spot if they're really unhappy with how that character plays, and as we've seen, plenty of people are playing him, or they're just really unhappy of the current patch of the game. I feel like that would just deter people to play, so deter people from playing. So does it really help the game to keep releasing patches, or is it kind of like them just going on their hind legs and like, all right, you guys want this, we'll give it to you?
Really, it depends on the studio itself.
Okay.
The studio that makes Tekken, they're very good at releasing good patches. So far, every update of Tekken has been better than the last one.
What about Geese?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Geese is this whole other thing.
I heard he got nerfed.
He did. Season 3 is going to be absolutely beautiful.
All right, I might start playing.
Like,
I'll ask another question
Like,
after this.
I'm already getting into this.
Okay.
Take this from someone, all the Smash players watching who just heard about Terry coming out. Take this from someone who has been playing against the King of Fighters character for a year and a half now. Good luck.
Was he that busted?
He was. So you know the every character. All right,
I mean, Terry looks hype though.
Terry
Really-
does look hype.
I'm happy
To
for
put
Terry.
it to put it in perspective, in Tekken 7, the single easiest move any character can land in the game is a down one, just a mid jab. You're
Okay.
crouching down, you just throw out your fist, hit him in the gut, and it's a 10 frame startup. It does like 5 damage. It's not supposed to be anything. Some characters have a way, stand up afterwards. Very rarely a character can get like a hard knockdown after it. Geese, on the other hand, he gets a counter hit down one, a 10 frame move, crushes moves, or you'll whip something above him, so he'll do that. Max mode cancel into a at least 90 damage combo, into the wall, into an Oki. And to put it in perspective, characters in Tekken have, I think, 170 health. So at least half your health is gone
Off one hit.
off the single easiest move to land in the video game.
Hey, bruh.
And
That's what's up. I'm
and
here for
Terry
it.
Bogard is gonna have it too.
Let's go. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No,
he's
he's
gonna
not.
have it off down tilt, max mode cancel into some combo, ending with the dash punch where you're either dead or about to die.
Okay, well, we're not new to meter characters. We have Cloud. We have
Trust me, this is different.
Arsene.
We
don't have Joker. We have Arsene. Joker is I don't even know what to say. I feel like Joker is base game, and then Arsene is DLC. That's how I feel about Joker. I dislike Joker so much. I respect MK Leo for playing him. He's fantastic. No skin off his bones. But
It's the other Jokers.
oh my God. Wi-Fi Jokers are the worst. They're literally just like, hey, are you approaching me? Oh, you hit me? All right, time to play with Arsene. Let's
I think
go.
that's your fault for not going for grabs then.
If they're falling, I want that damage. So that's fair. But then at the same time, if you get a grab, depending on who you play, you don't get a whole lot off of it.
This is your own greed showing right now.
Yes. I want them to die. That's the name of the game. Could you imagine in Tekken if someone just had like a whole counter that if you touch them, they just get stronger?
He said that. Oh, he didn't get stronger, but he had full combos off a counter. He had 3 counters, high, mid, and low. So all you have to do is guess right. If your string ended in a mid and there's a little gap in there, he could parry that and then get his full combo.
Oh, God. I actually...
Didn't even need max mode for it either.
Okay.
But if he had it, then it would be even more damage.
So, in the,
So you guys are in for a treat.
in the 10 minutes that I played Tekken 7, I actually played Leo. And so, you saying that in the half second of being able to parry it, I already know of the move. I can't... I think it's like... all right, tell me, teach me buttons for a second. What is square? What is triangle?
So it'll go squares 1, triangles 2, left punch, right punch. X is 3, square is 4. Left
You mean
kick, right
circles
kick.
4?
Circles 4, yes.
Okay, so I think it's 1, 2. I think it's 1, 2, 1, 4.
Yeah, I know the string.
Yeah, in that string, no matter what I do or how fast you input it, the 4 always comes out slow. So they can always block it.
Yeah.
If they're ready for it. So just thinking about that, Geese would probably just be like, get flipped. Let's go.
And even off your stance, you're back 1 into stance. If he guesses your stance right, or guesses the follow-up from your stance right, rather, full combo.
Okay.
And that's still going to be in the game. That wasn't even what's broken about him. It was the counter hit down 1 that was broken, and they took that out.
Yes, I did remember talking to someone saying that they nerfed that.
They also gave him 3 new moves, so we'll see what happens. I think we've only seen one of the moves.
Why?
That's a good question.
Why would you nerf him and then be like, well, here's a bone? What? They broke the milk bone in half and then was like, here's half the milk bone back, but here's 3 new milk bones.
All we'll have to do is see and wait what happens. They did him better than they did Katarina.
What'd they do to Katarina?
They basically took everything good about her and sliced it a little bit.
Sliced it?
They just cut off some inches. Where she still has it, but it's not nearly as good.
Okay.
Where other characters, they kind of like brought up on their strengths. With her, they kind of did the opposite.
Okay.
For no real reason. I don't know why they did it.
To spite her, dog. Clearly she did something wrong, and she angered the Tekken 7 gods. So what I did see, I saw a lot of damage changes, but I also saw a decent amount of like damage nerfs. I saw a lot more nerfs than I did buffs. And when we started talking earlier, you said they wanted to speed up the game, but what would be the idea behind nerfing the damage?
Well, honestly, I've only looked in depth at a few characters,
Yes,
and the
that's
characters
fair.
I've looked at King, I've looked at Dragunov, I've looked at Brian.
Is Dragunov still busted? Or
He'll
not
be-
busted, is he still top tier?
Yeah, he always was, and now he will be a little bit more.
Fun. Okay.
There's a few other characters I looked at, but from what I saw, all those characters, well, they were already strong characters. They just they just buffed up what they did a little bit. And if they did get nerfed, they would get compensated somewhere else.
Okay, that's fair.
So I would imagine for these characters that you saw, where they're getting damage nerfs, perhaps they have a little bit better frame advantage afterwards. Perhaps it'll change how it works when they're knocked down, so they can get a better Oki opportunity.
I did see a decent amount of that. The only person that received extremely significant changes was Gigas. Apparently, it seemed like a lot of Gigas' moves, like it was in it, if you go online and look at Tekken 7, you can see the season patch notes, and it'll give you the listing for every single character. Before you get down to any character's name, it's like, here's one big general patch. And all you see is Gigas' names, and you see a long list of buttons, and they just change the distance for every single one.
You want to know what's absolutely hilarious, though? They still went ahead and buffed Marduk a lot.
Okay.
And it's a running joke that if Marduk's in the game, you have absolutely no reason to play Gigas. So people were going through like, hey, look, they buffed Gigas a good amount. Maybe there's a reason to play him. Then they went down to Marduk, who is still going to be even stronger. And is still going to have more going for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes you wonder, what the hell?
Now, with that being said, did. So I know there's Tekken's not anything like Smash Brothers, so it's not like, oh, you have a spacey or you have someone who throws a bunch of projectiles. And this one, I feel like, what is it? You have Rushdown and there's essentially grapplers.
There's a lot of archetypes.
Okay.
Even within characters in like a quote unquote specific group, like the Mishimas, each Mishima plays vastly different from the others.
As
So
I've seen. The only thing that I've seen that they do similar is knock you in the air and then they're like, that looks like my dinner, and then juggles you.
So there's aggressive rushdown.
Okay.
There is defensive brawling. There is defensive grappling, aggressive grappling. Like Marduk, for example, would be aggressive grappling.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two?
So I'll use King as an example for defensive grappling, where he has some modestly good moves, but he doesn't really have strings to keep you blocking.
Okay.
So his idea is I'm gonna keep my distance, wait for you to whiff something, and punish you with down four, or we're not even at grabs yet.
Oh, okay.
The thing about Tekken grapplers is they're not grapplers in the traditional sense.
Okay.
They have good grabs, yes, and that is part of their game plan, but unlike someone like Zangief from Street Fighter, that's not
their kit.
That's not always what they only go for. Like if you watch Lil Majin play, at that level they're always breaking grabs.
This is true.
Out of 10 grab attempts, you're lucky if 2 of them actually do damage.
This is true. In the match that I saw when Lil Majin had his huge not rise to fame, but
we're talking about last year's, or not.
I think it
not
was
this year's, last year's Evo where he beat JDCR and got 3rd.
Yes, I don't remember who he played, but somewhere in that bracket he played someone, and
he just broke everything.
He broke every single floor and was like, "Bruh, don't even pick up the sticks again. You're going through the floor." But then he went. I think he actually lost one of the sets because he broke all the floors and the guy had Dragunov on the ground floor. He was like, "Thank God." But yeah, so I do see what you mean because he didn't, outside of the grab where he bounces you off the ground and grabs you by the legs and slams you to the floor, he didn't really get any grabs off.
Yeah, that's only a grab you get off of a launcher where it's entirely unbreakable.
Yeah, understandable.
So when you watch him play, he'll be backdashing away, waiting for you to whiff punish, and just get a modest poke, and then go right back to it.
Yeah,
he'll use that to sort of figure out how you're going to get in, and from there he can open you up and play a little bit more on the aggressive side.
Okay.
That is only if you understand exactly how they're going to come in and attack you, though. Now, Marduk, on the other hand, he has, very sort of like Gigas, where he has very large arms to just swing away at you, to just keep you oppressed.
I've seen Gigas play, and he just kind of hits you, and you're just kind of like staggered a lot.
Marduk does that a lot. He has a lot of really good moves, really good plus moves.
Okay.
He has lows that can't be parried. He has so many ways to go into that mount stance where it's just pick one of 3 options. If you guessed wrong, that's 50 damage. Sorry.
Okay, so
guess better next time.
So in this one, he has buttons that will put you in that negative stance, and then he goes for a grab. At this point, can you break them while you're in that stance?
So you can break the initial actual tackle into that stance, and then when you're on the floor, him on top of you, you have one of 3 buttons to press to break it again.
Okay.
And if you guess wrong, that's damage.
Okay, but he only gets the one guess?
Yes.
Okay. So what I wanted to ask you is, with this biggest patch, does it look like they're going to nerf any archetypes or buff any archetypes, or will we see a change or shift in archetypes being played overall in the pro scene, or what do you think?
Well, one thing's for sure, Geese is not going to be as popular anymore.
That's fair.
That's just the most beautiful thing about this patch. If that was the only change they made, it would be absolutely wonderful. But it really seems like they're going for more advantage state play. Okay. As you said, there were a lot of moves where you go from +5 on hit to +7 on hit. Like even King has moves like that, where he's predominantly a defensive character. So it seems like they're trying to promote more play styles where you hold forward rather than backwards, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
Which is very interesting because you could argue the last patch did the same thing, the Season 2 patch, but just Tekken by nature is a defensive game.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Even if you're playing, Mr. Rushdown City, like Steve, Brian, and, Rob, anyone like that.
You still have to be wary of those parries.
Exactly. You still have to know their defensive options, and you can't just run in guns a-blazing, waiting for something to hit so you can get your combo. That's not how Tekken works.
Yeah, fair.
And that's definitely not how it's going to be at all moving forward.
Okay. I think I can't come up with any questions right on the spot. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. If I saw correctly, there's 2 new characters coming in?
2 announced right now, yes, out of 5 in the season pass.
Okay. Anything on them?
So I looked into when the patch will actually go up. The season 3 pass goes for sale on Sunday.
Okay.
The patch goes live Monday.
Oh,
and then the new character, Zafina, she will be available on Tuesday.
Zafina. So is she completely new? Has she been in the previous Tekken games?
To my knowledge, she has been in the previous games. Tekken 7 is my first Tekken, so I don't know.
Really?
It is, actually, yes.
Huh. I don't want to be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I do believe Zafina was in Tekken 6.
I'm super sure she is a legacy character, yeah.
Yeah, I think actually I don't quote me. I could be super wrong because I think I've played like Tekken 6, Tekken 4, and Tekken 7. That's about it. But I do believe she was just in Tekken 6. But if they keep her same kit, she had a lot of stance changes or movements into where she will hit you and then switch into another stance. What other characters are like that, and what type of archetype is that?
Well, most characters in the game have a stance.
Mm.
You can't really base a character's archetype just based off stance.
Okay.
Like, Huarang has, I believe, 3 stances, and he's incredibly rushed down. Lei Wulong has 5 stances.
Mm-hmm.
And he's able to switch back and forth between defensive and aggressive play based on which stance he likes to play in. But for the most part, stances are just a way that they open up a character's movesets. For example, Negan, he has one as well.
Does he really?
He does, yes.
Okay.
And it's an all-right stance as far as just, accessibility goes.
Mm.
Really, the only reason you're going to see him in it most time is if the opponent's about to go for a low, because in that stance he gets a free low parry. It's not even a low parry, it's a counter for a lot of damage, where low parries are normally scaled.
Gotcha.
But the only times you're going to see it is for that or when he's doing a combo, because his best screw is in his stance.
Okay. I did see that, if you got any Leo mains, I did see that Leo got some good advantages and his different stances. I legitimately think all of his changes were in stances.
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, they added a move to one of his stances. I think it's, don't quote me. I think this stance is called, Jin Lu, but they added a 2-4 to it. Completely new move. So, I'm excited. Soul Calibur's doing the same. I really don't get what the mindset is behind it with everyone. Everyone's kind of doing it now.
It's just the model right now, where that's almost unfortunately how you keep fighting games alive nowadays.
That's fair.
I mean, to be fair, almost every other video game on the market is doing it right now. Overwatch, Apex Legends, they're all keeping the game alive by adding in new characters and new bells and whistles every so often. Right when the hype starts to die down again, they'll add in someone else.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. I do think it is easier in an FPS because as far as all they've really got to do is add a new gun, add a new character.
Right.
Make sure the gun's not busted. That's it. But in a fighting game, there's so much that they have to be accountable for it because you can't just add anybody into the game. You could add some character and accidentally break the game. He just keeps getting ones out of everything. And, you can't stop it, you can't block it, you can't parry it. So
I remember this one animated short from the Skullgirls creators. It was about, everyone was, going crazy. This was back before Second Encore was even a thing. And they were talking about, what DLC characters are going to be in the game. I want this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And the guy's just going nuts thinking about, none of you guys are thinking about the big picture, about how hard it is to actually add a character to a fighting game. None of you are thinking about overall balance. None of you are thinking about move lists. None of you think about any of that. You just want this big titty golf girlfriend in the game.
Honestly, who was I talking? I was talking to Cordy, one of our local Smash players,
Mhm.
and he's like, "I want Doom Guy." Like, what are we gonna do with Doom Guy in Ultimate? What
See,
can we do with Doom Guy?
Doom Guy would just be how everyone thought Snake would play in Brawl.
You think so?
Because yeah, everyone thought Snake would have a gun, right?
That would make sense.
But they didn't give him a gun. They gave him grenades, and they made him cool. But they can't really do that for Doom Guy. They'll just give him rifles. They'll just give him rifles and maybe some grenades, but mostly he'll just be shooting you from across the stage. That's not fun.
And his latest, I think they did some type of expansion for Doom or something. They gave him a giant alien sword thing. So they were like, yeah, just add Doom Guy and give him a sword. I'm like, all right, Ganon, calm down.
Yeah, we have enough swords in the game.
No, we don't.
You're right, we don't.
I could go for some more swords, you know what I'm saying?
I'm really hoping the Season 2 pass is just 5 Fire Emblem 3 house characters. The 3... I saw one picture. It was like the 3 leaders of the houses and then one character that's also a girl, and they split that into 2 different slots. Now that is a Season pass.
I can't describe how physically uncomfortable that made me.
Season passes are what, $25? I'd pay $50 for that one. For 5 new counters?
Oh my god. We don't need any more Fire Emblem characters. We absolutely do not. Sakurai, I know you'll never, ever in your life watch this. But if you see this, please don't give me another Fire Emblem character.
You can go for a Tekken character.
That'd be fire. Make Link good. If you make any more Fire Emblem characters, make Link good first. That's all I ask.
I was thinking about it, and if they did want to add a Tekken character to the game, I'm not sure who they would add. Because they add, like, poster childs to the game. That's why they added Terry Bogard instead of, like, Geese
Yoshimitsu, done.
I think you're missing my point.
No, I'm not. Poster child. Yoshimitsu is a staple. He is the only character that is in Tekken and Soul Calibur consistently.
Have you ever
Not
seen,
even a question.
Have you ever seen a poster advertising Tekken that had Yoshimitsu on it?
No, but
that's not a poster child then.
But every time, okay, what are you gonna do? Give us Jin? That's a terrible idea.
See, that's what I'm saying though, because like normally it's like the happy protagonist that they add into Smash.
Yeah, and Jin is not
and yeah,
that
and
at
Jin's
all.
a freaking edgy bad boy, so they can't go with him. Kazuya is just angry Jin but older. Heihachi's technically a bad guy. Depends on who you ask.
He is very, very angry Jin.
He's like
he's not even angry. He's just a murderer.
He's grumpy.
Grumpy, is that what it is?
Yeah.
He didn't have his oatmeal.
Like, if you had to deal with what he has to deal with on a daily basis, you would be grumpy too.
Didn't he throw both of his kids off a cliff?
Because they had the devil gene.
It didn't work.
So
we're on Tekken 7.
Clearly,
he needs a new...
He had to try.
What is it? The same clip every time? Is it a faulty clip? There's 7 Tekkens.
It's the stock footage they have.
It's 7 Tekkens, and literally all of them are just like.
Can you really call yourself a Tekken character if you haven't thrown or been thrown into a volcano?
Yes.
No, you can't.
Literally the rest of the
cannot.
cast that's not Kazuya or Jin.
In some games, or in some of the previous games, when they had alternative character endings and story mode, some of the characters would get thrown in the volcano just for the heck of it. I'm pretty sure in a non-canon ending, in one of the Tekkens, I don't remember which one, Heihachi found out Lars was his son, and he didn't like that, so he threw him in a volcano. That's just how the Mishimas deal with their family issues.
Bruh, there is no abandonment. It's just straight, just done. You can't have my name. None of that.
Clearly it doesn't work, though, and they'll hold on to the name.
That's fair, but unless you got anything else to talk about on this patch, I think we did. We covered it all.
Well, we didn't talk about Leroy Smith.
Leroy Smith.
He is the character coming out after Zafina.
Okay.
He's coming out in December, I believe.
All right, give it to.
And
anything else?
oh my God, he looks. We haven't even seen gameplay, but he's already the coolest character in the game.
Isn't he just a big dude? He looked like he was a big dude with glasses covered in snow with a big jacket.
He's not covered in snow. He's wearing white wushu robes. Dude, he looks sick. I'm telling you, man. Leroy Smith is going to be that character.
Leroy Smith? I wanted Leroy Jenkins.
Of course you did. Go play WoW Classic.
Absolutely not. I'm not selling my soul to that game. But I think that's all the time we've got for Tekken. King, thank you for coming out, my man.
Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure.
It was an absolute blast. We'll do it again sometime when there's more Tekken news to speak of.
Maybe I'll come back into the FGC with some Leo play.
I will throw it back to Nerf so you guys can talk about the rest of Smash. A lot to talk about there with Banjo coming out and all that.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it to you guys. Thank you all for tuning in, anyone who is. And yeah.
Thanks, Doc. Yeah.
You're talking about that WoW Classic.
Yeah.
All right, so that
No.
so that's what I want to talk about.
No.
So this is the next segment,
No.
WoW Classic. So that one's
No.
for you, Rex. Rex, my boy. I'm playing. He's from Maryland. I'm playing WoW Classic with my boys. Rex, Gatsoy, Waddy is there. You know, we got Waddy in the Discord. Waddy's like 15 levels behind everyone else right now.
That's because
Just
he plays
he's
too
been
much
busy.
League.
No, yeah, that's true. He's not playing Smash. That's for sure. He's not playing Smash. Like even with Banjo out, he's just like, no, I'm gonna play that League though. It's like that League is
like,
pretty nice.
He was like, "Is he Greninja? Is he like Greninja?" No, cool. Don't
No,
need. To,
I don't
need to lab him.
Well, I mean that's the thing. He's like, for the first time I ever saw Waddy tweet like, yo, send me some Banjo tech if you get some, and I'm just like, you're not gonna read that. you're not gonna watch that tag. Like, come on, dude.
Dang, man, you're just gonna call him out like that?
He's so fun. He's so good with his fundamentals. He doesn't need to. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like he wants to power up like even further than what he's on the PGR. But yeah, he's not.
He's not gonna read that.
He's not a lab rat. This is not a lab man. He no lab rat. He's not a lab rat at all.
I think he actually might have played Banjo.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's picking it up, and like is gonna be playing him like consistently. Like Banjo's a good character.
He is a very good character.
At least high tier. I don't want to like rank
Easily.
him like day 3 or whatever, but
Easily.
like he's very very good. He's very very good.
No, I'm
Lots of great tools.
very comfortable with putting him in high tier right now.
Absolutely.
He's nothing like Joker, and I don't think he'll be like Joker in the fact of him being a sleeper cell. Even if he is a sleeper cell, I think he'll only go up from high tier.
Well, when you say sleeper cell, like the only reason he would be a sleeper cell is because he's got a high skill ceiling.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what can you do with him at like the most optimal that you can get? Like, what is when you maximize his movement, you literally push that character to the limit that he's at, and it can be like that. You know, I think Banjo has the potential. I feel like
For sure.
he's got enough tools that is at his disposal. Remember, Joker doesn't have like the best tools as well. He just has a few key ones that he can like really abuse and then snowball.
And then they get upgraded.
Right. I mean, Joker. I mean, yeah. I guess I'm not even thinking about Arsene. Like, Arsene aside, Joker is still like
pretty
really
solid.
good. Still really good.
I would say without Arsene, the only real key problem he has is that tether. Some people say it's a good thing. Some people say it's bad. Me personally, I don't think tethers.
I haven't seen it do that. I haven't seen him do him
Too much
harm at all. Like I mean, I think it helps him a lot. I think sometimes like you have to get your angles right, but that's a lot of characters too. You remember like Dolphin Slash, like Lucina is like very very vertical, not very horizontal at all. But that doesn't stop people from doing really well with Lucina, right?
Yeah, for sure. Understandable. The only where I see that skill ceiling coming in from is grenade.
Okay.
That grenade.
Yeah, and that's where the tech is coming in.
Yeah, I think because of it being such a how do I describe it? Because it's a standalone projectile, like it's not something that's attached to him. It's not something that he has to do a cinematic on the explosion. Like he's free moving if it connects or when he throws it.
Right.
And then from there he gets input combo here.
Right. And unfortunately, like I think what the grenade is limited by is its detonation time.
Yeah.
So it does detonate relatively early. Like you need to grab it real quick and then immediately think about what you're going to be doing with it. You need to have a game plan in mind. You don't need to like grab it and then be like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now what?" Because then half a second later it blows up in your face.
Yes. This is
And
very
obviously that's good in some situations. Like I've seen some people like trying to parry their own grenade, which is like that's cool in certain situations, but it's very niche. I feel like that's very situational. I don't think that that's going to be like a really viable strat in like competitive play.
Yeah, I don't see that being any type of helpful in tournament.
Yeah. Because it's like only when they're right up in your face and you can actually like benefit from the frame advantage. It's like I don't really see that happening too much. I feel like once people get the grenade out, okay, that's like it's time for me to like back off, see what you're doing. It's gonna be interesting. So obviously, if you drift after you shoot out the grenade, you can grab it instantly, right in air, and that's like really.
That's probably the biggest key factor.
That's actually really good. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can grab it just with like an air dodge or something like that, like after you launch it, like that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
if you decide to hit a button, you get a fully covered nair. So
Exactly, and it's it's a big explosion, does a lot of damage, pops them up.
Yes.
It's great for leading into the side B or something like that. But I don't want to talk about that side because
all
it
right.
speaks for itself, man.
So what have you got in your notes about Banjo
Right.
so far?
So some of Banjo's best tools, at least frame data wise, like he has a 7-frame standing grab, which is pretty good.
Does he
actually.
really?
So 7-frame standing grab. The range is not the best, but it's still not like hero bad. His down throw berries, which is obviously in theory it sounds really good, but it's very very mashable.
In my personal opinion, seeing as how that's what we're all here for, is your my personal opinion.
Right.
His ground is by far the worst in the game.
Okay.
They might as well have just let them bounce off the ground.
Right, the
'Cause
berry,
it is
yeah,
so mashable.
it's true. Like even at 150, like I remember like mashing out and be like, oh, that was quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to really, and that's the thing. Like he has some other moves that are really good. So like up smash is 9 frames.
is it really?
That's crazy. Yeah. Like up smash is 9 frames. Obviously, you're not going to be really up smashing out of the berry, but
It does cover spot dodge, and it's a multi-hitter, so
Right.
it's fantastic.
right. And
that joint kills.
I know it does. And the side B is only 17 frames. And I say only 17 frame startup. So that's what but that it has a sweet spot and a sour spot.
Okay, what is the
And-
sweet spot?
So sweet spot is when you are like in the first between frame 17 and 30, it does 26% huge knockback. That's the kill move.
Okay.
The sour spot only does 19% damage, and that's from 31 to 63 frames. So so between 31 and 63, that's when it like gets
Wow.
weaker.
That move has that many frames?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I'm serious. It's a long move. Like it goes a long distance, and I feel like it doesn't have like the same properties like the PK rocket, like for Ness, where it's like if you hit the PK rocket with like a projectile or something, or anything gets in the way, it shortens the distance. I feel like this is not one of those situations.
Oh, absolutely not.
This is
this will hit things
and then
ignore
go
it,
right
and then
through
go
it
right
because
through
it's
it.
invincible, right?
Yes.
It is invincible, and
But it's
you can grab him out of it.
yes.
Don't get me wrong. Like
You can
Pac-Man, Pac-Man
Incineroar.
mains, heck yeah, we
With-
are good.
Who is it? Incineroar mains are good. Side B just grabs them right out
That
of
is
it.
true. That is true. But he moves very fast, so
So you and Bert are both fine.
the startup on side B, you have to really read that though.
That's true.
Like-
One good tool that I've seen a lot of people who are playing Banjo is like, if someone's going for an aggressive option, so they put you in disadvantage and they're hunting you down. You're like,
Right.
they're like, yeah, I'm about to catch you with this fair, and you're like, no, you're not.
No.
And I do think the drift on that move is insane.
Yeah.
For the fact of it still holds it still holds the gravity of the character, and it doesn't actually stop them or change their
Right.
momentum
You
whatsoever.
can still slide down a little bit. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like side B back to ledge, you might find that you'll hit the side of the stage instead of like actually snapping to ledge. So that's something that a lot of people have to like get the feel for.
Yeah, accommodate for. I think the big thing is that no matter what you do, if you approach them at all in the air, you're going to get caught.
That's true.
Because if you don't catch them in that 17-frame startup, they're going to keep drifting down. So whether you fast forward or not, you're going to get clipped.
Right.
You're probably going
But
to
you
die.
also definitely want to avoid that 17 frame startup because it's like that's when it's at its best.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's like so it's very high risk, high reward. But I mean, remember, you only have 5 uses per stock. I feel like that's a lot though.
You're
Not really doing that much. If you are, that's your own fault.
Yeah. I get what you mean, but at the same token, like, if you give someone something that's you can only do a certain amount of times, and you're not forcing their hand with it, 5 seems like a lot, but whether you put it down to 5 or you put it down to 3, That's still one per stock.
That's true, but per stock, like I mean, obviously it's like if you it's your stock, it's not the opponent's stock, right? So if you kill your opponent, like obviously you don't get those back. You're not gonna get the feathers back.
Yeah.
But it's like if you end up, trying to 3-stock someone, it's like, oh, well, I only need a side B 3 times. Once in the first stock, once in the second stock, and once in the third stock. It's like, okay, well, I only need 3. Even if I want to 3-stock you, okay, cool. I still have more than enough tools at my disposal to do so.
This is true. But in off stage, if you do make the unfortunate mistake of forgetting, it does put you in a free fall.
Right. And of course, it does also have a lot of end lag. So if you do shield it, which is optimal.
Yes.
Don't not shield it. You definitely want to shield that thing.
Don't go for the grab either. You're just gonna whiff, and then they're gonna get out for free.
Right, exactly.
If you play Link, shield it, run up B.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like if he goes through your shield because it crosses up, you really got to chase that joint down. It's like
I know.
But come back here. Where you go? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He took off. What can I say?
I would say
We lost him, officer.
I'm trying to think of what the best punish would be. Luckily for me, I play Link, so
I mean, you just try to make sure that you stand on ledge, and then hopefully they'll overcommit, and then they just stay on ledge, and you'll be like, all right, I charged that F smash. But at the same time,
going? I can see you as Pac-Man now. You just
You spot dodge that thing too. Spot dodge into F smash. It's like
you can spot.
I mean, yeah, it goes pretty fast. You could definitely spot dodge that, I'm sure. Spot dodge cancel. You spot dodge cancel that?
I don't know if I would risk it. I think I would just shield it.
Fair enough.
That's a scary thing to try and do.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Good players will find ways to get around that kind of stuff, and I feel like that's probably going to be one of the big ones that we see.
This is true.
Other than that, so his up smash is 9 frames, like we said. His down smash is 13 frames, which is really not that bad. Like, I mean, technically, you can also down smash out of like the side B, or instead of the side B, instead of the down throw. So when they get the down throw, if they are not mashing, because I mean, remember they're not going to be buried for very long. 13 frames should be enough to do it. Hopefully, F smash is 19 frames, but it doesn't have to be because it's like. Have you seen that? Have you seen that thing?
Is so good.
Like, I'm serious. Like, you thought Hero's F smash range was big.
It outranges Link's sword. It
Yeah.
outranges the Master Sword.
Yeah, I saw that down. I saw you trying to down air, and then Kazui's just like.
Oh no! What did I try? I did my up B, and he actually just stood outside my range. It was like, "Here's Kazooie." And
Exactly.
I was like,
Exactly.
Feels good.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. Dash attack is 8 frames, which is actually really good. So that's one of the better dash attacks. I don't see a whole lot of banjos going for it just yet. I'm sure that will probably develop with the meta. But it does have a sour spot too.
It does.
It does between frame 10 and 24.
The sour spot is actually I think it's even more optimal than the sweet spot.
Okay, yeah, because it doesn't have as much knockback, so you can get more off of it, lower percents for sure.
Yeah, if you call it out and you catch it towards the end of that sour spot, you could probably go into a fair. Low percents. If you fair, you can re-grab them.
Yeah. That makes sense. And obviously, his aerials are something else. So the aerials are really interesting because he has 2 drag downs.
He does.
He does have 2 different drag downs. The Nair is obviously the easiest one to hit. It's it's much more.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of
really
like
weird.
Ivy. It's like Ivysaur Nair, but it's not because you have more freedom to move while you're in it, and of course you can easily drag down. It's like that's what makes it so easy is that you can fast fall during it so quickly.
I don't like it only for the fact of I can do it drag down and then I don't know which side they're gonna end up on.
A grab. Oh, I'm sorry. What side? That is true. That is a little bit unreliable, but
I feel like the
More
drag
early.
down on it and which side they get spit out on is very inconsistent.
right, that is true. I think that we're just gonna have to find that out as the meta develops. That's probably gonna get something people are gonna practice a lot more. It's like
Yeah.
the same thing with like Joker drag down up airs. On platform, I can see I can see Banjo doing a lot of stuff with like drag down into grab. Like that's a great way to lead into the grab or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Like the up air is the other drag down. That one's a little bit less reliable, and it does pop them up on the second hit. So it has 2 hits.
Up air's drag down?
Up air is a drag down. You can drag them down. It's not like the most It's not the best, right? Because that's the side switch is really, really problematic with that one.
Mhm.
That's tough. But at the same time, it can catch people off guard, right? It's always a mix-up, and that's what you want to use it for.
Mhm.
That's what I can definitely see people going for a lot. Obviously, he has some ladders with the up air too, but that's something else.
With that being said, I've actually seen a few people going for one up air. So
Mhm.
it
Up air
is,
one, yeah.
yeah, and the multi-hitting is good, and the
Mhm.
ladder is convenient. You get some good damage off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people do falling nair, or not falling nair, falling up air,
Mm-hmm.
and actually just catching with the first one, and it pops them up, pops them over them, and they just go right into an F smash or a grab or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I do see with the skill ceiling seemingly getting higher the more
Yeah.
we look into his kit. I do see that becoming something that is
Mm-hmm.
used later on in play.
Absolutely. I mean, that's another tool that he has. I would definitely say that a lot of his aerials, like the Mario, it's almost like a Mario forward air, but it doesn't have like the spike property.
Yes.
So it's just really good knockback, and it's fast enough. Like, I mean, it's definitely not something you can, you're gonna get caught by it eventually, right? It's like he's
Yeah.
gonna keep throwing it out, especially because back air is much faster, and having a very different startup on both back air and forward air is actually really good for some characters, because then that's how
That's
you
the
really
mix-up.
make that right. That's really how you mix people up. Obviously, if you see what direction they're facing, that is how you like counter it.
Yes.
But you know,
But you can always get the
like an instant
dash.
attack cancel, right? Instant attack cancel into a back air is like a really great option.
And one thing that we do have to remember is that he has the same properties as Ridley when it comes to jumping. So if you jump
Right.
while you're holding in a direction, he will actually turn.
Yeah, that's all. All multi jumps are like that.
Are they?
Yeah, every character with multiple jumps can turn around in midair
Okay, so
because
yeah.
of that.
So that is something that you can possibly mix up. Like if you're like, oh,
Mhm.
I want to get bear, but I'm facing this way,
Mm-hmm.
just hold that way and jump one more time,
Right.
and you're like, cool, I'm
and
good.
and don't get me wrong, like his airspeed is like bottom 10, right? So it's like,
Is it really?
yeah, it's bottom 10 airspeed. Like he's like not the best.
Mhm.
Right.
the
I mean, he's on. I mean, initial dash speed's bottom 5, so he's a very slow character.
Until Kazooie comes out and is like, I'll do right.
Well, yeah. I mean, but the multi hits are where Kazooie really comes in, right? So the Kazooie's multi hits are going to get a lot of leverage for that character.
So what you're telling me is Banjo is trash, but Kazooie is fire.
No, 'cause they're the same character, right? It's like this isn't like an Arsene thing, right? This is like they're always there, and half the moves are Kazooie and half the moves are Banjo. You know, so it's like
So whose moves are better?
they're both good in their own way.
Fair.
They're
Kazu-
both good.
Kazooie gets things started, gets that damage racked up. The only way he's really killing is with F smash. Banjo's just going for kills. Banjo is aggressive.
That is true. That is true. And
Banjo hits like a truck.
yeah, Banjo thick. Banjo
Banjo
muscular.
dummy thick. Why
Ban-
is he so strong?
He'd be like,
Come
Mom-
out the cut.
Mom says it's my turn to be on the DLC. Yeah, no, it's pretty. He's pretty tough. He's pretty tough, dude. And Kazooie's just like, oh, you dummy. You need to be doing your homework.
Mom said it's my turn on the DLC. I like
Dude,
that.
yeah. Dude, yeah. And it's true. I would say like Banjo Kazooie like is gonna be a whiff punish character.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think it's all
with-
gonna be about like hard whiff punishes.
But with
Um,
Kazooie, that's not. I don't want to say super easy, but with Kazooie, that's super tangible.
Right, and exactly. Obviously, there are some tools that are not as good. Right, like the neutral B is very situational. Again, the neutral B is just
Yes.
like the
That egg bounces so much before it actually breaks.
well, the first one does. Yes, the first
Uh-huh.
one. So if you shoot the initial one, but then you hold it,
He goes into like.
he goes into
Gatling.
like oh
Kazooie.
I'm like
I got
strafing mode.
I got that thing on me.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Got
he
it.
got that grenade launcher, like boom, 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 boom. And then that's kind of interesting because you can turn around while you're doing it, which is a nice touch. But it also kind of locks your movement, right? So it doesn't.
It does. It greatly reduces
You
your.
can still triple jump though.
Yeah,
That's so broken.
it's not broken.
It's not broken, but
it
it is
doesn't
like
make
you know
sense.
what I mean. It's just like man, he can still. Yeah, exactly. Because the whole point of like getting the jump was like Kazooie is doing it. How is Banjo himself doing a double jump? This
Triple
bear
jump.
can fly.
Hey, bro.
This bear can fly.
You
And
see
the
how
stalling
thick
off.
he is?
You've seen the stalling off stage with the grenade.
Yes.
Oh my god! Like this man's recovery is
Infinite.
Interesting and infinite, yeah.
Yeah, it's infinite because if you do, or because you can
Act out of the up B.
or drift with the down B and
Mhm.
re-grab it.
Right, and then
You
you
just
let
keep
it
doing
blow up. It knocks you up. You can up B again.
And that,
Congratulations. And then if you still have a jump, congratulations. You can still jump after your up B, which is like, God, fast characters like Mega Man, Sonic, I can see it. Banjo and Kazooie
why?
acting out of the up B?
Bruh.
I don't
B,
like that.
up-
I don't like that.
acting out of up B into side B.
Yeah.
Feels so good.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a mix-up. But
It's a
I
mix up. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna cover that," and you'd be like,
oh yeah, he's up being here's it's time to punish the recovery, and then he just like charges you like a monkey.
And I
It's
think
not even fun.
what is it? I think Banjo is this is what I'm gonna say because I was playing Banjo against a hero.
Mm.
I think Banjo can't read, but Kazooie
Can't read.
can't read.
Well, I mean,
So that's the anti-hero tech right there. Is Banjo's like, oh god, what do I do against hero? And
Banjo's
Kazooie-
like, words, what are they? And Kazooie's like, I got my reading glasses on.
well, not even that. He's just like, no, Banjo, don't look at it, and you just side B through all of your problems. The moment
Yeah.
that hero opens menu, you just like,
Tunnel vision. You just tunnel vision. You just put the blinders on and be like,
I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that. It goes.
gonna hit you.
It goes through Magic Burst.
It does,
It
but a lot of stuff does.
I mean, it goes through everything.
It's invincible.
It legitimately goes
It's
through everything.
literally invincible. Like,
it is.
like, oh, you're throwing something out?
Mm.
Doesn't matter. It is the ultimate,
Ah.
like that's the thing.
It is the ultimate. I don't
It's
care.
like a big DP.
Big DP.
It's like the big DP. Like it's like the wake up DP.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, it's like
For
man,
sure. For sure. Smash doesn't have that. We
like
have
Smash
one
now has like the non-fighting game character has the DP of all
Wake
of
up
these.
DP.
Are you kidding me? How is
Hey.
that?
Bruh, it's. I find it hilarious. Just like no matter how aggressive you want to get, Banjo's like,
Right.
or correction, Kazooie's like, I don't care. No matter what you do, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I got this super nice combo. Kazooie's like, is it frame tight? No,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you above 80? Dead. Let's
Right.
go. Although I don't think it. What does it kill at? What is his kill potential?
60.
60?
It kills at 60.
Who?
Midweights.
Oh my god. All right, that's kind of crazy.
I told you it's broken. I told you
Okay,
it's broken.
broken is
Like,
a
why do
strong
y'all not
word.
listen to me?
Broken is a strong word, but killing at 60 off side B, that's kind of
Yeah, I'm serious.
that's a
Like,
little silly.
yeah, I think DLC just has like such high kill potential. I don't know what it is. Like the knockback on some of all of the DLC moves are just like like infinitely higher. Like there are very few moves that are in the actual game that kill at 60. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's hard. It's hard, especially when you don't even have to charge. You just let it rip.
What? All right, let's think about that. What moves actually kill at 60?
That's not
non-DLC?
charged. That's not a charged F smash or something.
Link's up B on ledge, maybe.
No.
You don't
At
think so?
60? No.
At 60 on ledge?
On ground?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
With DI, no way.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, with DI, no way. I mean, you've
Uh,
got the
Snake-
9 hammer that kills at 0.
Snake's F smash
Okay,
with
yeah.
all like
but that's
32 frames.
but that's yeah, literally like come on, like an F smash. Like we're not talking smash attacks. This is like something else. Like he has 9 frames on his smash on one of his smashes. I don't think that's what we're worried about.
Warlock punch,
Yes.
Falcon punch.
Yes, Warlock Punch and Falcon Punch are probably the only two, but those have not a 17 frame start.
I was about to say those startups are insane.
Exactly.
Wow.
Very telegraphed.
Bowser down B,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. DDD dash attack.
DDD dash attack is not killing at 60, is it? On ledge?
I hate to tell you this.
On ledge, probably. Wait, what do you?
Yeah, on ledge, he's probably
You're probably
DDD
dead.
dash attack has a lot of.
It has a lot of
a
startup. though.
lot of knock. Yeah, exactly. But you know, that's true. That's
It's-
true.
it's
Yeah,
super
it's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. It is more telegraphed. It is more telegraphed. You can spot dodge that and roll out. Or
Well, even if
roll
you
in.
don't spot dodge it, legitimately there are plenty of characters that can actually just jab him.
That's true. Because you can see him falling before he, like...
Yeah, you literally, like a Fox player will definitely just see him go like this, and they'll just be like,
Yeah, exactly.
we got Fox players
Right,
that
so
can do
there's
that,
counterplay to
Mario.
all of that, right?
Yeah.
There's counterplay to all of this stuff. And
But
yet, the side
Banjo's
B,
is
the
like-
banjo side B, it's pretty nice. Everyone who's played a banjo has to be like, okay, I have to respect that thing. Have to respect it at all times. It's definitely super good, and there's so many stuff that leads into it that it's just like, I feel like that's...
Yeah, the grenade into side B is,
There's going to be a lot of people going for the early kill with the side B, I'm sure.
that's
I'm
insane.
sure. And that's, probably what you want. That's probably what you want. You want to bait people into using it, waste it, and then
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
punish
And
when they can't use it anymore.
as well as side B on ledge, you legitimately can't recover high at all. You can't come. You can't recover high.
The
You can't
hitbox is pretty nice. The
Yeah.
hitbox is nice on that one.
It was really nice.
Speaking of hitboxes, F tilt can be angled,
Yes.
and F tilt is so fast.
yes.
F tilt is absolutely so fast.
But it's nothing
such a
busted.
good option. No, it's not. But it's definitely one of those ones I can see is like it doesn't
Does
even
it kill?
No.
Okay.
Well, eventually, yes.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it does. Maybe
Yeah.
like 140, 130, something like that.
yeah,
Something
something
like
insane.
like a reasonable percentage.
Mhm.
A reasonable percentage. But the down tilt is what I'm really worried about. So the down tilt actually moves your character. Like if you stay in the same spot and just down tilt, you
Oh, yeah.
will end up farther forward than if you...
Mhm. It's better. It's better. Hero detail.
Right, it really is, because the hitbox is bigger, the knockback is better, it leads into stuff better,
Mm.
and I mean it's just a really good tool. Like, I mean, down tilt and forward tilt I think are going to be really important. Up tilt is probably not the best. The
All
hitbox, the hitbox for the forward part of the hitbox, you have to be right in front of them. It's
Yeah.
very specific. It's a good
Yeah.
anti-air, but I mean that's the thing. Is like I'm kind of jealous because it's like I would love for Pac-Man to have this up tilt. It's slightly more functional.
Mhm.
Like I would love that, but I mean people are like upset. They're like, oh, the up tilt's not that great. But
what
it's
is
just like,
what is
come on.
Pac-Man's up tilt? That's useless.
He punches up. He just punches up. He just punches up, and that's it. Like he's just like, like, and it has no forward hitbox, right? It has no hitbox on the front part. You can't pop anyone up. You can't do anything with it. It's literally just like if they are standing literally right above you, not to the left or to the right, it will hit them. And it's only good for like certain juggles. Like if you're doing like a triplat, like ladder or something with some up airs and stuff, like okay, cool, it's a great mix up.
Mhm.
People aren't expecting it. If you fast fall into the up tilt, it helps. But no one ever does it. Like I've only seen like Shinji's like claims that he's like the only one who's ever able to like use the up tilt at all. Not even maximize the up tilt, but actually use it like once in a match.
That's fair.
I never use it.
I was about to say, I feel
For
like I've
good
never
reason.
seen you throw it out.
For good reason. Because the up smash is fast too. The
The-
up smash is really fast.
It is, and it lingers, and it kills,
And it has a forward hit, and it has a hitbox in front.
and it does so much damage.
It does do a lot of damage.
Yes, I die.
It does do a lot of damage.
It is not a
I'm not gonna
trade.
lie.
It is death.
Yeah, that's true. You can't trade with the ghosts. The ghosts very disjointed.
They are disjointed?
They are disjoints.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he summons his own enemies. Can you imagine? You pull out Snake, and Snake is like, "Oh, look, Metal Gear." It's like, no.
That'd be like Link being like, "Hey, yo, Ganon."
Pull out the guard. The guardian comes out of the Ganon.
Ganon comes out the ground.
Well,
Force
yeah.
choke.
Well, Ganon's his
Gotcha.
own character, though. Ganon is his own character. Ganon doesn't have to be summoned. He's
That's like Mega Man calling in Sigma.
exactly, but he does call in Zero.
This is true.
Not Zero. I'm sorry. Roll, the dog.
Yeah.
The dog.
I do not like Mega Man players who call in the dog.
you could stop it right there. I don't like Mega Man players. I'm just kidding.
What was it? I saw on Twitter today. It was like, I don't like. I was like, why are all Mega Man players the nicest people you ever meet?
I
Like,
saw that.
Let me hate you in peace, please.
I saw that. And apparently, like, someone was like, oh, like in MDVA, there was like some Joe, like something Joe was his tag or whatever. And apparently, he was like so mean that he just like absorbed all of the hate for all of Mega Man. So it allowed all the other Mega Men to be very nice. That's what I heard. I don't know. I never met this guy. I couldn't tell you. But,
Interesting.
But yeah, so Banjo kind of nice. Although he is a little bit heavy too. He's Snake weight.
I didn't think Snake was that heavy, but
Snake is pretty heavy. Like that's we forget like he's got like 106 units.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty heavy. It's like definitely on the other side of the middle. Snake lives for long periods of time, and not just because he can like float around on the
And
siphon.
blow himself up and come back.
Yeah.
And tech every.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like Snake players.
Yeah.
I just don't. Okay, I don't. It's not that I don't,
You don't like a lot of
Snake.
players.
I don't like Snake.
Well, I mean, I don't like Snake players either. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't have a Snake problem. I actually like the Snake matchup for Pac-Man. I like it. I know that's kind of a controversial thing, but I
Hot take.
I think it's good. I like it a lot.
That's fair.
Um,
I think that's all we've got for Banjo.
Yeah,
Unless there's anything else
so
you want
far, I'm trying to think of like what else. Obviously, there has been some play of him. We saw a Japanese bracket in which Zachary played Banjo and got second. There were also 2 other Banjos in top 9,
Wait.
top 10, I think.
to say. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm serious.
When was the tournament?
This was like the day after it released,
Okay, that's what I thought.
or the day of it. Oh no, maybe it was the day of it release. I don't remember.
That's so rude.
I know.
Well, it's not like he had to adjust any
No,
patch
there were.
notes.
I'm serious. There were like at least 3 people playing Banjo that day, and of course, it's like remember, it's a 32-person bracket,
Mhm.
but they're all stacked,
Yeah, they're
right?
all,
Because those things fill up instantly, right?
yeah, and those 32 players are nice.
Exactly. So
Nice.
even though it might not be the numbers that you might expect, like, oh, we had a 70-person bracket, and that was a little small for us, but it's like 32 people in Japan, like those 32 people could all be PGR'd here in America.
Oh, for
They
sure.
could all be PGR'd here. Like we saw what happened at Switch Fest. Like so many Japanese in top 8. So many Japanese players that were so good. Kameme, Kome, T, T of course. They were all super good, and having a Japanese only grand finals at Switch Fest was pretty nice. Pretty nice for them. So definitely showed that Japan is a region you cannot sleep on. And now that they're picking up Banjo, I mean, I didn't see them do the same thing with Hero. So this is the true test. Is like, okay, if you can make him work day one, it's not just matchup inexperience at that point. It's just like really good fundamentals.
Mhm.
Those players really know what they're doing, and they can figure out a character very quickly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What you want to talk about the patch notes, or do you want to talk about Terry?
So we can talk about patch notes. It's going to be a short conversation. It's going to be a short conversation because they didn't really do anything.
They gave us nothing.
No, I think we'll probably get a 5.1.
They gave us.
I think we'll get 5.1.
They slapped me on the wrist. They gave us nothing. They legitimately were like, "You want something? Well,
You don't got it.
like, hey, you go to McDonald's, you ask for a fry, right?
Balance machine broke. Sorry. Come back tomorrow.
You go to
balance
McDonald's.
machine broke.
You're like, let me get some fries. They're like, cool. They hit you with 1 fry. You're like, what do you want me to do with this?
Yeah, right.
What do you
I
want me to
mean,
do with
it's true. A lot of people were kind of disappointed. We did get a couple of not buffs or nerfs, but just fixes,
No, we've
right,
got
to
buffs.
Hero. A couple fixes to Hero.
Buffs.
They were not buffs.
One of them was a buff.
No.
Let's go ahead and go down the list of patches.
Okay.
The first one was a buffer patch.
Yes, and that's the one I want to talk about at length, but we can go over that in a minute.
Okay. So I got a buffer patch, so you can't preemptively set up your tech roll.
Yeah. It was the roll buffer.
Yeah.
The roll buffer. We'll talk about it in a minute.
That's all that happened there. They changed how when you parry, or if you both grab at the same time, you
Right.
grab parry.
Right.
They changed it so everyone's grab parry is consistent, so you can act out at the same amount of time,
Right,
rather
right,
than
right.
one person acting out this time and another person acting out that
And that's
time.
good.
Blah blah blah.
That's good.
Yes,
that's
fine.
normal.
That's how it always should have been.
Yeah.
I
The
think.
fact that it took them 4 patches to figure that out is a little disconcerting.
Hey man, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But
That's
that's
have
all.
other things we like to see
That's all
fixed.
from the general changes.
I know.
And then Daisy and Peach, their up B hits can hit
right,
multiple
links
people.
into itself, right? It links into itself.
Yeah.
But that's a continuation of the last patch that we saw. We saw a lot of different multi-hit moves that they ended up like linking into itself easier, just like especially like Roy up B, it sweeps you up and you don't fall out of it as much.
Mhm.
That's a really good, good touch. I think,
still
for
haven't
Peach and
touched
Daisy,
Link.
it's good. It's good. They also nerfed Peach and Daisy in the past, so it's like,
That's fair.
this is a minor. I think this is very minor. Peach is not going to be going for like very rarely will they go for up B to kill.
Up B out of shield, dog.
Yeah, up
Good
B out
one.
of shield is fine, but they have like also back air to shield.
That's true.
You know, they have
That's
so many other things that Peach and Daisy have good frame data.
That's very
Otherwise,
true.
that's not.
I mean, with you get the float, you get access to your entire aerial kit while
Right.
still on the ground. So
Right.
understandable. That was that patch. Hero.
Right.
I remember the Magic Burst one. What was
Right.
the other?
So the Magic Burst one, it was the shield pressure on Kafriz.
was it?
So Kafriz has that
you can shield it
big
now.
explosion, right? So whenever you shield the initial hit of the Kafriz,
Yes, you can parry it or absorb it.
right? You can. It's easier to do so, right? So like the explosion, you can like, act and not get hit
Yes.
and not take damage from like the giant explosion. So it's like it benefits you more to shield it now. So that's a nerf for Hero. Because heroes were getting a little crazy with Kafriz.
Yeah, I think I died to that at like 40 off stage, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, that kills really early too.
It-
Honestly, fully charged, of course. You have to fully
DLC.
charge it, and it's a lot of MP, which is like there's
36.
a risk to it too, right?
36 MP. That's
That's a third of your MP, over a third. That's over a third. You can only do it 3 times, and then unless you hit an aerial or something else.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, normally
Unless you
get that back.
literally connect with anything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
then you're
Two aerial moves, and you're like, okay, we're back. I got that 36 again. We're good.
fine.
And then the Magic Burst one is just basically like improve the knockback on the initial hits, so you can't like get out of it as
So
easy.
can Bowser still tough guy it?
Yeah. So it didn't really matter. Like it only mattered to like other characters.
And you know what? Banjo players, just side B through it, dog.
Yeah, that's the lesson. It's like Banjo now.
Banjo is the anti-hero.
Banjo is very anti-hero.
Kamikaze.
Very
side
much
B.
so.
It's fine.
Very much so. Exactly, dude. You probably could do that,
That'd be.
but you have to time it right because remember the slowdown of the Kamikaze, like it slows down time, so you have to time it right.
I want to try that so bad now.
That's so broken.
Kamikaze, just side B through Kamikaze.
I'm not a fan of that. All right. But anyway,
the most important patch that we got. Home run contest.
yes, we will have a
Home run contest.
we'll have a separate conversation.
Home run contest.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about that roll buffer. So
Yes.
this was something that is not necessarily as oppressive in Ultimate as like the buffer tech situation that we have, but this is still something that people wanted to see a lot, and it was a very, very welcome change. And I'm extremely excited that they paid attention to this and they knew that this was not intended, right? That this is not the way that the game should be played, and they're fixing it. You know, they fixed, or I think they fixed it. I don't know. We haven't like seen like true results yet. But I mean, as far as I know, like literally, as long as you don't as long as you don't re-input the direction when you land, you won't automatically roll whenever you just air dodge into the ground.
Yeah.
It's not gonna force you to roll or whatever. So you can choose to do it. So it's definitely it's gonna reduce a lot of misinputs, a lot of accidental rolling and stuff, accidental tech chasing. It puts people in a better place. I think it'll be good. I'm hoping that they will continue this general change and be like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna, fix the buffer tech. Please fix tech buffering. Please. Please.
What else can they
Please.
fix? What else can they fix without making the game bad?
Without
Or
making the
not
game
make
bad?
Not making game bad, but what can they fix without breaking the game?
What, like general stuff
No,
or like character specific stuff?
general stuff.
General stuff. Okay.
Don't make me air dodge after I tech the wall.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like after you tech the wall and you accidentally I'm serious. Like we saw File. It happened to File like 2 nights ago, where literally he techs the wall, and then he techs it, and then the air dodge comes out, and I'm like, no.
Feels
Like,
so bad.
It feels so heartbreaking to watch that happen because it's like, that's not the way this game should be. That's not the way this. Like you
That
can't
ain't
help that
achieved.
sometimes. It's like, man, I don't know.
All right.
Very tough. Very tough. But I want to see some more of that.
Yeah.
Home run contest. Very interesting stuff. This is something that I heard a lot of buzz about actually. People really wanted the home run contest, and I was like, I never really played it that much, but for people who want to, like, lab stuff out. It's an interesting sort of lab. And then also, getting those records, It's always about the dominant stuff. It's like, I want to get that high record, man.
What, you hit him for 400 kilometers?
Yeah, well.
Do you even Warlock Punch, bro?
Do you even Roy Neutral B? Dude, Roy, I'm serious. Like, I've seen Hero Roy. Like, every time someone, like, gets the record, it's always Roy and someone else. Like, the doubles. The fact that you can do doubles in home run contest, that's actually kind of right.
Just psych up and oomph and F smash.
But no,
crit.
But you can't, because actually in home run contest, Hero's down B is locked. Not locked, but like you can't use it. But it's like it's set. The moves that it gives you are like pre-chosen.
That's lame. What moves did they give you?
Oh, I don't remember. Like I said, I don't play home run contest. I don't do it. I don't do it. But it's a thing. I mean, I heard that it's like literally they did limit a lot of stuff. So Peach can't get the RNG. Peach only gets dot eyes when she pulls a turnip. Only dot eyes.
Isn't dot eyes good though?
It's good. It's not stitch
Isn't it good about
Isn't good damage.
Yeah.
Good for damage.
Yeah.
It's slightly more damaging than a normal turnip, but it's not as strong as Stitch Face.
Very fair.
But the knockback is good too. Obviously it increases knockback too.
Okay.
So I've seen some interesting stuff.
And that's all the general stuff. Next
you
up.
talking about Sans?
What is there to even talk about with Sans?
Oh
There's
God.
nothing to say.
Well, the fact of the matter is they knew that people wanted it. He had obviously played games with Toby Fox. Toby Fox like beat Sakurai at his own game and was like, all right, now I can give a soul for a soul, and then put my random indie game character that I made out of a Earthbound fan hack in your game with an actual Earthbound character. But it's a costume. So now Sans is like piloting the empty husk of Me Gunner.
Yeah.
And
the empty husk of Me Gunner?
yeah, it's like literally this is what Sans fans, this is what you deserved. You deserved to not have a real character. You deserve to be tacked on as an extra. Like as a cosmetic change.
Listen here, Sans.
To a
you did
BS character.
You did nothing wrong. You did not deserve.
You didn't do anything right either, okay?
They just wanted. That's all they did.
Yeah, they
just
did
wanted.
want. They did want, but they were a little aggressive with their wanting.
Were they?
Oh yeah. They were the hoes that were mad. Some of the hoes that were mad were them.
Oh
like,
my
what?
God.
Sans? It was like, yeah, it's like I see Sans as like Minecraft Steve. So it's like Minecraft Steve, we'll get him as a brawler costume. That would be the nail in the coffin. That would be the cherry on top. I would oh God. The euphoria I'm gonna feel when Me Brawler turns, like when they get the Me Brawler Minecraft Steve skin. Oh my God. You can imagine. I'm just gonna like feel that wash over me. I'm like, thank God.
Why would you? Why? Why is that what you want? You know what?
Because I don't want Minecraft Steve, and that will shut them up.
That's true.
Right? Sans fans are all happy. They're like, cool, we got it. That's awesome. And I'm like, great. Be happy for what you got. You be happy for what you got.
I wonder if
they didn't take your character and make him BS and make him stupid RNG, not good normals. They didn't take your beloved character and put him in the dirt. They didn't do that to him. Okay, I'm so salty about Hero. Why can't he be good?
Do you need a hug, dog?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
It's all good.
So if you can't tell, Nerf likes Hero.
I love Dragon Quest. I just love Dragon Quest. Like, I don't love Hero. Like, I mean, I love the Hero. Like, I love Erdrick. I love 8. The other two I don't really care about. But the Dragon Quest series is, like, super good.
But as you can tell, he doesn't like Hero in Smash.
No, in Smash, no. He's not.
Are you going to shed a tear, dog?
Maybe. Pour one out for my homie. I'm going to pour one out for him later.
All right, pour one out for the homie Hero. But other than Hero, we've got Terry. Terry looks
the man.
So hyped.
The man himself, Hat Ken, as they call him.
I mean, if you ask, who is it? If you ask Twitter, he's just Hotter Ken.
Oh, Hotter Ken. Okay, that's true. So
I'll agree with
Hotter
that.
Ken with a hat. But I mean, he's also like buff Pokemon trainer. He looks like Pokemon.
Hell no.
What?
Hell no!
Have
Don't
you
say
seen,
that
no,
to me.
No, have you seen?
No.
No, you've seen
No.
the side by side.
No.
You've seen the side by side.
I don't want to.
No, they're
no.
both wearing jeans.
Hell
They both
no.
have a red hat
I
with a
don't
white
care.
front.
I
They
don't-
both have
hell
a
no.
jacket. They both. I'm serious. This is buff Pokemon trainer at his finest. He is the man. He is the man himself. Terry is the man.
He's hot Ken. And
He's
we will
hot.
Speak no
okay,
more
he's
of
hot Ken or Hat Ken. Either way, either one. Or buff
Okay, that's
Pokemon.
fine. But yeah, we haven't seen any moves for him. We see that he
We saw one move.
Yeah.
We saw his rising punch, where he's
and
like, "Ooh."
yes, and people are English. People are speculating from that he will be another DP character.
Right,
like
another
Ken Reed.
command focused character with the down circle back. That's going to be like the input theoretically for that. That's what it is in the games. But Terry is someone that I mean, a lot of people are like, who is this guy? But the more research you do into Terry, the more it feels right.
You better put some respect on Terry's name.
Yeah, it's like the more it feels right. It feels like, oh, okay, I can see how this was a long time coming. Just like how Dragon Quest was such a huge franchise in Japan, like King of Fighters and Fatal Fury and all that stuff, very, very important, not just for Latin America, who like bodies people in those games, but also like for the rest of the world, who can now experience another fighting game character that's not just like Ken Ryu, get a different focus. Because remember, all fighting games are different in their own way, and this is
for sure.
he will have. It's not going to just be another Ken or something like that. It's going to be like he will have a unique kit, a unique personality,
For sure.
and I'm excited to see what happens. I definitely think it's going to be command based. I definitely think it's going to be very much like that. I hope he doesn't have that turnaround mechanic like they have. Please don't give him the turnaround mechanic. I'm terrified of that.
What you mean, dog? You're terrified of detail reversing?
No, I'm tired about the fact that he's always facing you. Ken and Ryu are always facing you, right? It's like they automatically turn around whenever you're on the other side. Like that's
They need to have that.
I don't think Terry needs that.
If
I don't
you're
think
gonna
Terry
give
needs
someone DP inputs, you have to have that.
right.
Because that would mess up your inputs
right,
way
that
too much.
Right, that does make sense. But no, because you can reverse the input. Just like remember, because in a fighting game, you have to reverse the input when you're on the other side.
No, you don't. Oh yeah, yes, but no. Like you're reversing it because you're facing this way, but you're not because you're facing that way and they're behind you.
Right. But I'm wondering if you do it in reverse, will he just like do it the other way? Like that would be nice. That would be a nice change. I think that's kind of balanced.
We'll see.
Yeah.
He's DLC. He won't be balanced.
Well, yeah, that is
Silly nerd.
that is true. You were either the best character in the game or the worst character in the game. if
Hero's
you're
not the
DLC.
worst.
I'm not gonna say he's the worst, but I'm definitely saying like you're not hearing anyone talk about him anymore, are you? Like everyone's like, oh man, Terry, cool. Sans, cool. Banjo, cool, and be like, Hero?
What is that?
Who's that?
What's that?
Oh, I forgot. Oh,
Link?
he's that broken character, right? Who plays him? No one. Cool.
Weren't we gonna?
We're
ban Remember when we were gonna ban Hero?
I remember
when we cared.
I remember that was last week actually when we talked about that. That was actually last week. Like that was episode 1. Like I mean, come on, like you can go watch that on YouTube.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
What? I can't acknowledge the podcast that we're doing right now. Oh no.
Not in the past tense, because then we get stuck in a loophole.
Nuh-uh. No, people. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. There's no loophole. There's no loophole. There's no wormholes. We're
I
good.
know. I'm teasing.
That's fine. Other than
have-
Terry.
Do we have anything else besides Terry?
Mm,
They did confirm that we'll be getting a.
the next fighter pass. Right. So another
Yeah.
fighter pass. So at least 5. I'm assuming 5 more characters. I heard originally.
No, what the little birdie tell you?
Okay, so there was a leak that came out like a while ago, like a long time ago.
Okay.
Early into Ultimate's life, that they basically said that there's gonna be like 3 fighter packs, or like there's gonna be at least like 15 characters, like 16 new characters. Like it's crazy. Like, can you imagine having a 90-person roster? All like pushing 90, like that's League of Legends level. Like that's crazy. And League of
They're
Legends
just
is
trying to
5v5. That's not. This is 1v1 in competitive.
They're trying to have MOBA amounts of characters.
They are. They really are. And I respect it. They
You know-
really say everyone's here.
Yeah, but they didn't account for bringing everyone to. They brought everyone back, but then they're like, all right, who else comes on the you?
You're in, and be like the clown in the back.
Oh, what was it? What did I see? The
Except for you stay.
yes, that one. That meme.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
that meme. That's what they did with
Mr. Krabs.
That's what they did for Saiyans.
Yeah.
They're like, get
It's
out of
like,
here.
get out of here, you freeloaders. Except for you stay. And he's like,
And then they got Saiyans.
That's right, they got Sans. So yeah.
What is like? Okay, don't flame me, but I never played Undertale.
Okay, I never played Undertale.
Okay, cool. What the hell does Sans do?
So Sans.
What the hell is in his hand? That little blaster crap you had? What is that? Okay.
I don't know, but that's the thing. If you ever see gameplay of Undertale, it's weird.
It's weird.
Like
I didn't even think they fought
like
people.
the fights are like you have a heart and you have to you have a heart in a box and you have to dodge. It's like you have to dodge like projectiles in the box. Like Sans is like, I'm gonna shoot some stuff at your heart and you have to like move the heart. It's so weird. Like I don't know what the inputs are like for this game, but I'm sitting there thinking like,
Hey,
this
bro,
is not
this next level.
what kind of gameplay is this? Like what kind of gameplay?
Save
is
the heart.
this?
That's the gameplay.
I
Save the
guess
heart.
so. Heart in a box, man.
Hey, bro.
Heart in a box.
That sounds like a winner to me. Heart in a box.
Heart in a box.
Heart in a box.
You know, that's how Davy Jones died.
Heart in a box.
Heart in a box.
I thought it was heart in a locker.
It was a chest. It was a chest. It was a
Locker?
box. It was
Davy
a box of sorts.
Davy Jones locker.
Davy, next stop, Davy Jones locker. No, okay.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
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 You ready?
Okay. I'm
You
ready.
You
I'm
ready? Okay. So, with all these character passes
Right.
that all these fighting games have been generating
Mm-hmm.
or coming out, they have had major changes going in to the passes.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get that? Because that'd be kind of fire.
Well, what do you mean major changes going into the passes?
So
obviously, like at the beginning of Ultimate, you can't really compare because it's like they were doing early balancing.
Yeah.
So
But
it's like that's normal.
Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah.
6. Soul
Soul
Calibur
Calibur
6
Mm-hmm.
is completely redoing some of their mechanics and or systems in the game.
That's right. We talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm. And that's their season pass 2, or their
Right.
character pass 2, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. They're changing stuff a lot.
And they're telling us we're getting more fighters. So do you think we're going to get some system changes?
System changes, probably not. I mean, that's the thing, because it's gonna be seamless. You know, it's like I don't think after the fifth one's out, they're like, oh, okay, time to really revamp the game. Like I don't think that's really how they're gonna do it, because they're just gonna slowly change it over time, just as they have been. Right, the patches have been getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they feel as though it's actually becoming more balanced. But with more characters, that does have the potential to throw it off.
Okay, that's what
Right.
I'm thinking. Because
Right.
you can add more characters, but
Right.
when you have 90 people in a
Right, but
roster, every character you add to that roster is
know.
just a tipping scale to
No, I know.
you killing the system that you started with
Yeah.
your 84.
Yeah, but
or
just
not
because you
84.
add a new character doesn't mean you have to change the existing characters. Because that just means that that means
Well,
that
you're
the
not
character that
changing
you're
the
adding
character.
is intended to be different, right? It's like, oh, well,
Yeah,
at
you're
that
not-
point you just balance that character to fit in the already existing game. You don't want to change the game to fit one character out of 90 characters.
Well, you don't want to change. Yeah, but what? Yeah, they're not dumb enough anymore. I think to
Anymore.
break the game with
Wow.
a character.
It's so forgiving, so nice.
Well, I mean, they made
I know.
Bayo.
I know they did make Bayo, but I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Is like from Smash 4, they learned their lesson for DLC. You know,
It
Smash
seems
4 was
like-
the first one that they had with DLC. It was a good starting point, and it's like, okay, obviously they know what not to do now.
Yeah,
Well, not
honestly-
really. They put Hero out. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. They put Hero out. They don't know what they're doing. They're definitely not thinking about the competitive aspect in that sense. But now
Hero's
they have
not that
other
bad.
characters that are more competitive. That means that they're trying to be like, okay, we have the one-off character that's kind of random. Let's button mashers have fun.
Okay,
Uh.
let's not forget where this game came from.
Yeah.
It's a party game.
Yeah.
It's a party game.
It is. It's not. It's a very casual game for friends. For
Yeah.
friends. That's what it came from.
If there is no competitive scene, it is a friendly, casual game of you trying to beat. There's
Right.
items in this game. Do you remember that?
Right. And we have to make a very, very boiled down version of the game so that we can play it competitively.
This is
Right.
true.
So it's like we have to like take out a lot of the dumb stuff. Like, 80% of the stages gone.
80.
All of the
That's a
items gone.
solid 90.
At least 90% of the games. But it's also like, it's all gone. It's all gone.
No
And
skills. Gone.
Gone.
We're done with it.
Gone. We have to think of it like that. So it's like, in order to really balance the game, they have to like take a holistic approach. They really do. Like
Yeah.
they just
they don't
just
have a choice.
naturally
It's not a
do.
question.
They have to figure out how all of the characters are going to intermingle, and like there's a lot of matchups. Like we're having a hard enough time 8 months into the game trying to figure that out
I'm
ourselves.
trying to deal with all these matchups.
Right. So at that point it's very tough.
How? I hit him with a pencil.
I don't know. You ignored it.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I can't believe you just threw something off screen. Okay, cool. I guess we'll just go with it.
Hey, bruh.
Go with it.
I'm thirsty.
I guess so. I mean, we had a conversation. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. All right,
Hey,
I'm not gonna say
we've
that.
been we've been up here talking for a while. I
we talked
slept.
about a lot of topics.
Yeah, we did talk.
We talked a lot of topics.
We talked a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But that's good. There's still so much more to learn and
I
to
don't
know.
know. I want a new system.
I know you do, but I mean that's the thing. That's what
That'd
the
be
next.
so much
So-
fun.
So what I'm seeing is like obviously Smash is trying to prolong the life. So Sakurai used to say that like DLC shorten the life of a game.
This
Right,
and
and so-
clearly that is.
I
in-
mean,
in this age, it is not the case.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it has proven itself to be relatively untrue. I think that Smash 4 was shortened by bad DLC,
That's very
right?
fair.
By broken DLC, and it was also very unbalanced.
Yeah,
Like it was
trash,
such an unbalanced game,
trash DLC.
right? It's such an unbalanced game.
TLC.
And the DLC, yeah, exactly. Needed some TLC, didn't get any. That's what Ultimate became, right? So we fixed a lot of the issues. Ultimate is a much more fast-paced game too, right? It's
In
much more
comparison to
hard-hitting.
4.
Right, much more fast-paced, much more hard-hitting. But then, also we're extending these DLCs. Like we'll be getting DLC characters probably for the next year and a half, and we've already had 3, right?
This
And we're
is
getting
true.
the 4th. So we know
And he comes out in November. So
comes out in November, which is actually really fast.
Yeah.
Because that's still fall, which is when we said Banjo's going to be here, but it's summer and he's here. So it's like interesting.
summer.
But it took forever to get Hero, so it's like
I mean,
okay.
it's probably fall in other places,
No,
but
no,
we're
no.
in Virginia. So
no, that's true.
It's
It is
still
true.
hot.
That is true. It's very hot here. But you also look at other games like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has released all of their DLC, right? They're like, here's the full list. Here's the timeline.
Hey,
like,
bruh.
and it's
this
going to
is
be a
what you
long
get.
time. It's very, very spread out too. So
Mm.
that DLC is going to last for a long time too. It's interesting to see how like game developers are kind of like spacing them out to be like, okay, this is where we think is like an acceptable range, so that we're not like over tasking the DLC to capacity. It's like you want to make sure that it's reasonable, that people are actually getting enough out of the first DLC that they play, and then you can release the other one and then see how everything is. You need to give it the time to balance itself. But they also balance off of like Elite Smash, right? So it's like they're not really. I don't really.
They
think-
really don't care about the competitive scene.
right. Like no one's looking at like the Sumabara or like the Switch Fest or the Smash Con brackets
For sure.
in Nintendo, and then they're thinking like, oh well, this guy was really good with Joker, so who knows? Like maybe we should nerf Joker, and obviously not.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not thinking that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not doing any of
they
that.
should.
They
I mean,
should.
if they're going based off Wi-Fi, the only thing that they'll nerf is his counter.
And they did.
When?
Well, they made it so it breaks after for projectiles that do more damage than 50%. Yep, I know. I'm serious. So
What?
so they nerfed the counter just a little bit, but it's
Projectile.
the size, of course.
What projectile
Kafriz.
is?
It was only for Kafriz. That's what the hero patch was. Remember, that was the hero patch, and they were just like, oh, yeah, hero's got a lot of projectiles that do over 50%, so we're going to make it so that Joker can't, like, just brain dead counter that, and be like, all right, that's cool. Like, I appreciate that.
Gets hit by it. Cool story, bro.
Right.
What's poppin'?
Right, exactly.
Now our send's out.
Right.
Look at my fireball.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's tough. You know, I wish Banjo had a fireball like that.
No,
I
you don't.
No, I don't. He's got a side B.
He's
He
got
doesn't
side
need
B.
it.
He's got down B and neutral B.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I think we'll definitely be seeing a lot more good stuff from Banjo players. I know that I was just following people on Twitter, and they were like, "Yeah, I won the local last night with all Banjo." I was like, "Oh, so it's happening already." And it's like, I didn't really see that with Hero.
Banjo is not an insane character. Like he's fundamentally Mario, but better.
Fundamentally, I don't know. He's not
Fundamentally,
really
he's
Mario. I don't know. Mario's got way good frame data on so many more moves. It's like Mario has a lot of versatility and less projectiles.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You got
Like he's like a lot of people are saying he's like a mix of like Snake and Pac-Man, or like Snake and Mario, maybe.
Maybe Snake and DK.
Whoa, DK. Whoa.
His dash attack is similar to DK.
His dash attack is similar, but it's not as. I mean, it's faster.
It's
It's
the exact same thing.
yeah. I
It
guess
might
so.
it might even be the same animation.
Oh yeah, it's a forward roll. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
a
sure.
roll for sure. I mean, that's the rare roll. You know, rare got to represent. You know.
Nope.
No, the company.
Oh,
Rare.
yep.
Yes.
Got
Rare
it.
made both DK64 and Banjo.
Didn't they go under?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But I mean, that was also because they made Banjo Tooie, and they were like, yeah, we'll make it so that you can just pull out the N64 cartridge, put the next one in, and you'll get like a carryover save. And you're like, that's not how the console works. that's not how this works. And the developers with the N64 were like, don't do that. What are you doing?
And Banjo Tooie was like,
And Banjo Tooie's like, go.
what does that say about Banjo? That the creators were that dense.
I mean, in Smash, it doesn't really matter that much.
I mean, we
obviously-
hear him in Smash.
Go. Yeah,
Sounds
you know,
like
it's like
Goofy.
he does sound like goofy. He sounds a little goofy himself. Yeah.
No, like Goofy. Like
But I
the
mean,
character
yeah,
Goofy.
but you know what? Like,
Ooh, we could
the
get
sounding
Goofy.
like remember like how they talk in the game, like yeah. That's man, I swear, I'm so glad that we don't have to hear that in the game.
Could you imagine being a parent? Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh
no,
my
No, I
gosh.
can't.
Could you imagine being a parent back then and just hearing their kid? And you bought that. You bought that game.
Yeah.
You
for
bought
like, for like
they-
$50. For like $50.
There's no way. Were cartridges that expensive
I
back
don't
then?
remember. Maybe 40. Maybe 40.
Probably 30.
Inflation. No, there's no way. Inflation is not that bad.
That's fair.
Yeah. I
But-
mean, now we're at 60 because that was like 5 years ago. We just decided that was a thing. We're like, yeah, they used to be $50 a game. Now they're 60. It's like, wait,
But I'm still broke. I'm still broke.
but now I have a backlog. Now I'm spending all my time on WoW Classic, and I'm like, wow, there's other games coming out. Oh no, why didn't I just pay $15 a month and just play one game? That's fun.
I'm
I like
so
it.
tired of you in WoW Classic.
Oh, well, you know what? It's never gonna end because I'm not gonna stop talking about it until I hit 60, get that Ragnaros kill, and then we
Ragnaros?
Gucci. Ragnaros, baby. The Fire Lord.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know, Fire Lord, he's literally just a big, swirling tornado man with a giant hammer. He's like red, and he's like, it's the Fire Lord, man. I'm serious. I'm gonna show you a picture. And you're gonna
Fire
be
Lord,
like, wow.
was
No, you're gonna see a picture, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. Like, he's huge.
Okay.
Like in the final, like this is like one of the raids, like the early raids. So obviously they're doing it in phases, just like they did in original WoW Classic release. They literally do it where it's like, okay, we're not going to release all of the raids that we end up adding to Classic immediately. We're just going to do it as we. I mean, I don't know the timeline or anything, but they're going to like add it eventually.
Is Classic just staying out?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a temporary thing.
No. As far as I know, it's still staying out. I don't know if they're gonna keep it after the phases are over, or if they're gonna like switch up and make it like a BC thing, like really just take it off into like a different segment, like they did with like RuneScape. You know, like RuneScape has the old school version where they literally branch off, and now they've progressed in different ways. So like they started with the 2007 Scape, like they were like, oh, okay, this is pretty much what you wanted. It's like the general gist of how it was. The nostalgia factor is there. Obviously the graphics are bad for a good reason. And then it's just like, you know, then they ended up adding stuff. But Blizzard is different because Blizzard doesn't really listen to the community as much. So JGX literally by default has to now, because any changes that you put in that game have to pass a poll by members, the people who are paying to play the game, subscription based. Yeah. And they has to pass by like 70 or 75% or something like that. Very big margin. It's like a super majority have to vote for it. And that's like really good. So anytime they're like, sometimes it's bad because like there's a lot of casual players who are like, oh, I don't want this like game change. And it's like some of the hardcore players don't really like the quality of life changes either. They're like, no, I want this game to be hard. Make the game hard.
And then all the people are like,
they're like, chill out, bro.
I'm trying to play casual. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm trying to dump 20 hours.
Why you have to be mad? Like, you know, it's like, no, it's on the game. Like, you know, don't get upset. It's like, you know, it happens. So Blizzard will never do that.
Blizzard does not care.
Blizzard will never do that because they barely came out with WoW Classic in the first place. They were like, you know, like literally years ago, they're like, oh, someone asked like, oh, would you ever release like a WoW Classic? And they're like, no. And you don't want that. Trust me, you don't want it. And they're like, what? But we do. That's why he asked. It's like he just asked. He just asked for it. It's like we're all thinking it, and we're all thinking it, and then Blizzard's like, nah.
You're wrong.
Nah,
you're wrong.
No, you're wrong. You don't want that.
We
That's
know
stupid.
what you
That's stupid. And then they release it. Finally, they're like, yeah, okay, I guess we'll do it. I guess we'll do it. They half-ass it. They just don't do anything. They pull it up and they're just like, here, you get 5 servers. And we're like, oh, good. Now I'm in a 20,000 person queue waiting to get in.
That was insane. You couldn't have paid me.
1.1 million viewers on Twitch. Break records. And they're like, oh, I guess we'll add more servers. I guess you guys really did want this, huh? Oops.
How does a company like that stay? How do you have loyalists?
Well, they don't because people are calling them out for making like out of season April Fool's jokes. Remember that? No. So this is the Diablo thing. So
educate me. Educate your boy.
I think this was like E3. This was E3, and they were like, look, a new Diablo game, and everyone's frothing at the mouth. Like, Diablo? Diablo? Oh, God!
Aren't they on Diablo 3?
Dude, well, yeah, so they had Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was pretty popular, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been ported to every game system since it came out.
I know. The Switch came out, and
the
they were like,
Switch came out, they're like, Diablo 3, and they're like,
3.
Great. That's a game from like 8 years ago. Cool. And Blizzard's just like, yeah, so we got a new Diablo game. It's called Immortals. And everyone's like, cool. And they're like, it's exclusively on phones. And the crowd just sits there. They just sit there. And like one guy gets up for a question, and the guy's like, yeah, I got a question. Is this like some bad out-of-season April Fool's joke? And the crowd just loses it. And the guy's like, no. It's like, no. And then they're so defiant. They're so defiant. Anytime they get some criticism, they're always like, don't you have phones? Don't you guys have phones? It's like, yes, we have a phone. You know what that's good for? Calling people, texting people, looking stuff up on the internet, not playing your stupid game that we wanted on a console in the first place.
Hey, bro, Pokemon Masters is kind of nice.
Okay, but Pokemon Masters is not a real Pokemon game, and we're getting a real Pokemon game. Yes. So why? That's not even a real comparison. If we were just getting Pokemon Masters and Sword and Shield was canceled, how would you feel?
Oh, I'm throwing hands with
You're throwing hands, aren't you?
Everything.
Yeah, we throwing hands.
On site. Don't come see me all of September because I'm swinging.
Right. So Blizzard.
Wait, doesn't it come out this month?
What?
Sword and Shield.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does.
You want to talk about what's coming out this month?
Yeah. So Pokemon Sword and Shield.
we actually have Link's Awakening coming up.
Oh, Link's Awakening and Dragon Quest XI, of course. Dragon Quest XI is being released on.
No, I don't care. I do not care.
You gotta play it.
I'm not.
I recommend playing.
I already have it on PS4. I'm so tired of ports.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
I mean, Link's Awakening is
we're at that point. We're at that point where now they'll release the same stuff at the same time, right? So like Doom Eternal, same release date for Switch and PlayStation.
Okay.
So that's good. We're at that level where we're actually
Yes.
releasing them on both platforms at the same time.
I get that Switch came out late, so I understand all the ports.
Right.
Kind of.
It was a new.
Some of the
it was a
things-
brand new IP.
Some of the things didn't need to be ported. Like, what?
Yeah.
What do we have? I mean, I honestly don't think Dragon Quest really needed to be ported.
I mean, I like having Dragon Quest on a Nintendo console. I think it's fitting.
It is fitting for. But it's too old. I think it's just too old.
It's not too old. It was only out for less than a year.
11?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been out for like 2 years.
It's been out for a year.
Hold up. I'm fact checking you.
All right, fact check me. It's been out for a year.
How long have you played it?
I mean, I played it when it came out,
Which is.
and I put 400 hours into it.
What are you doing?
I put 400 hours into it.
How? Why?
Well, you have the first one, and then the first playthrough is
We're in
like
2019, right?
yes,
Okay, yeah. It's July 29, 2017.
July 2017. So okay, so now it's been like 2 years. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That is true.
Yeah, like
I will
at
say
that
that.
point.
Okay, it's been 2 years, but
if
that's not
Dra-
that bad.
But my thing is.
That's the thing. Doom was the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doom was the same way, but Doom's such a good classic title.
But yeah.
It's great.
Okay, Dragon Quest is a classic.
Yeah.
Just make a new one.
That's what I want to see. But they are actually coming out with the remaster, not the remaster I'm looking for, but a remaster, sort of 1, 2, and 3, the original trilogy, and that's coming out on Switch, on the eShop. Not even in the
Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3,
Ew,
which are
gross.
no, okay, 1 and 2 I can see. 3 is the greatest game in the history of games.
Why?
I will tell you why. Because if they had made that, if they made a remaster like I really wanted, where they did it where you had like the 3DS, like the style of Dragon Quest 11. Obviously, Dragon Quest 11, you can now like do a 2D style if you wanted to, but like that sort of style, like the one that they did in 8, the one that they did in 11, stuff like that, with like the 3D like open world-esque sort of thing. Not even open world. It's not open world, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the free moving and all that kind of
So
stuff.
is it the best for its time?
It was the best for its time.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think if they did a remaster of that, it would be the greatest game of all time. I think it would be. Because literally think about this.
Okay.
Dragon
okay.
Quest.
I'm closing my eyes. I'm thinking.
All right. So
Alright.
Dragon
Paint the
Quest
picture.
sets so many things in motion. They add so many mechanics over the course of the series that end up getting taken and adopted by other franchises.
Okay.
So like Dragon Quest 3, you have the first time you have personalities for your party members, right? You have like a customizable party. You can like basically you hire them like mercenaries, and like they will each have like a random personality that affects their stat gains, right? So you lots of theory crafting with like party makeup and all that kind of stuff. That personality thing ended up getting taken by Pokemon and using.
I was about to say Pokemon has
exactly right. So Pokemon adopts that kind of stuff too, right? It started off the turn-based style. Final Fantasy wouldn't exist without Dragon Quest. Pokemon wouldn't exist without Dragon Quest. And Dragon Quest 3 was really interesting because obviously it was known as Dragon Warrior 3 at the time.
lame.
Yeah, I know. And then they, couldn't. Yeah, it was translation things. But but Dragon Quest 3 it has so many in-jokes, so many cultural influence, so much cultural influence. So like there's so many jokes that like other games make that wouldn't be funny if they weren't already made in Dragon Quest. And Dragon Quest 3 had like so much personality, and it doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't talk to you. It doesn't like say, "Oh, like Dragon Quest 11 is very linear."
Yes.
Dragon Quest 3 is very linear, but you can there's so much variation, right? So it's like obviously you have to go to that one place eventually. But it's like you just run around and like get beat by all these monsters and stuff like that, and be like, all right, cool. I guess I learned not to go there because that's the railroading mechanic. It's like you start off on an island, right? But of course, like you need to like go through the tower and go to a teleporter, and you teleport to the continent, like the full continent and everything, and then your adventure really begins. But the storyline, the characters, there's no reason that a 2D game like that should have so much personality. Like there's no way.
It had
like
no business being that good.
it had no business being that good. Like it just was. And it's like the whole story is like you are like your father was like killed in a volcano fighting some monster, and like you as like a 16-year-old boy have to like go hire 3 random dudes that you found on the street and go run outside and go learn how to fight monsters with a stick in your hand. You know, it's like, that's pretty interesting. Like you just like hire some random dude and he's just like, cool, I'll fight for you. I never met you before in my life. Let's go.
Hey, bro, that's the type of RPG story I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And it's like, you know, oh my god, and the length of the game, like there's just so much gameplay in all the Dragon Quest games. There's so much gameplay.
Okay. I'm going to cut you off from
Alright.
your love
All right.
to pull up what's coming out this month. We got Borderlands 3, bro.
Oh yeah. Is that on Switch?
I doubt it.
I don't think. Yeah. So why are we talking about this? It's not on Switch. Okay, that's fine.
Because there's other consoles.
I know that you're
Tekken's
right.
on
There
Switch.
are other consoles. I don't really
Did you forget?
care. No, I have a PS4. I just don't care.
Okay,
I just don't care.
You don't care? Oh, wow. We're getting Gears 5. Wow. I thought that was washed up already.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was like, I think I heard something about a Gears of War, and then I was like, oh, that's only because like what Dave Bautista's in it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Dave Bautista. I'm not buying the game for him though.
Yeah. No.
Like, nah.
All right, cool.
Gears of War
Gears
kinda
5.
was.
Hopefully you guys do something. Hopefully they revive the scene. Something.
I mean, I never
'Cause
played any of them, so.
the last Gears games have been dookie. Like Gears 3 was probably the last one that was real good.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. We got Gears 5, Borderlands 3, remakes or a remake for Final Fantasy 8.
Okay. Yeah, Final Fantasy 8. That's not a good game though. Like I had that. I
That's
played,
a hot take.
That's
That's a real hot take.
Like I
there,
played
Nerf.
8. I played 8. Like I mean,
That's a real hot take.
I know you're either a 7 fanboy or an 8 fanboy. I'm neither, and I think 8's kind of trash.
Are you just an angry, bitter person? Nerf?
I'm not. I just hate real. I just hate real time turn based. I don't like that. I hate real time turn based. Like that's why I like Dragon Quest. It's very very strategic. You have to like do one thing at a time, and you can plan out your stuff. And it's not like, oh, I'm thinking about my option. Oh, I just got hit. Well, that just takes. Okay, I guess I gotta heal now. Like okay, that sucks. I don't want to play like that game. I hate timers. I hate timers in games. Like just let me.
That's fair.
Let me think.
All right, I'll give you that.
Let me think.
I'll give you that. All right.
Anyway, what else?
Some neat games called or an indie game called Children of Morta and Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, Untitled Goose Game. That actually looks pretty fun.
What?
You seen the video for that?
No.
You're just a goose. You go around and honk stuff. And you like steal stuff from people and run around and like. It's actually.
That sounds garbage.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I want to see that goose in Smash.
So, what's out right now is Catherine Full Body.
Oh, Catherine Full Body from the makers of Persona. Right.
All right. So,
Interesting.
is this another one or is this?
No, it's
They
a
just-
different. No, it's a different franchise. It's not a Persona game.
No, not that. Catherine. I know Catherine came out a long time ago. Is this the same one and they just redid it, or is this a new Catherine?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That's the only question I have.
I don't know.
That's one question.
That is a question.
All right. Children of Morta is already out on PC.
Right.
Final Fantasy 8 is out on PS4, Switch, Xbox One,
right.
and PC.
Okay.
Don't care. Wait,
Very interesting.
is it Okay, never mind. Last Oasis is out on PC. Spyro Reignited, the trilogy, is on PC and Switch.
Right, but I mean that was already on PS4.
Yeah. Torchlight 2 is on PS4, Switch, and Xbox
What
One.
is Torchlight? What is that? Okay.
Light a torch, dog. I don't know.
Wow, and you were talking about the Untitled Goose Game, man. Okay, well at least that has some real nuance gameplay. Like man, like where else are you gonna get this hot fire gameplay, man? You just like, oh look, this guy's keys are on his table. I'm gonna honk, grab the keys and run around, and the guy's like, come back here with my keys, and you're just like honk.
Sounds like Goat Simulator to me.
Well, Goat Simulator wasn't a bad game either. I'm just kidding. I never played it.
I was about to say,
I'm
but
just
you
ki-
don't
I'm
like
just-
7 and 8
I'm
for
just
Final
kidding.
Fantasy? I'm so
No, I
confused.
don't like those. No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, seven's fine. 8's not.
Okay, so back to our shtick of the age of
The
DLC.
shtick. Hit 'em with the shtick.
Monster Hunter World is getting
yeah.
a new
Iceborne.
expansion called Iceborne.
Iceborne. Yeah, there's a lot of hype for that one.
I'm hella hyped for that.
Yeah. Alternus was running the Rajang time tag.
Yes, I did see it.
He was hype about it. I talked to him about it in bracket. He was hype for Iceborne. I played the beta. I actually liked. I mean, I like Monster Hunter. Like, I mean,
I do too.
I wish I'd gotten more into it. I wanted to buy it for PC, but I ended up buying it on sale for PS4. So it's like I feel like I want to play it on that. I feel like I don't want to buy it again. It's not one of those games I would buy twice, like Dragon Quest.
I bought it twice.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Probably not. But would I still go through with it? Absolutely, because
If it goes on sale, I'll buy it.
yeah, I bought it for $30 on PC.
Yeah.
And then for PC, it doesn't come out till 2020 because.
That's right. That's right. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, well, if you're like regular people, it's already out and came out on the 6th for PS4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
So it came out yesterday. Very good stuff. I mean,
Oh, 2K20. That's out.
Yep.
That means half the girls lost their boyfriend yesterday.
I mean, you didn't lose him. I mean, honestly,
he's dead.
If
He's dead for like a year.
If you bought it for him, why? If you bought that man 2K out there, if there are any girls watching this, if you bought that man 2K,
don't do that.
don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Okay, and
It's a bad idea.
and if you feel like pranking him, don't do any of the I destroyed your PlayStation and got you a new
Yeah.
one.
That's how you lose a boyfriend.
Don't
right there.
do I broke the don't do it.
I mean, people who get really hype over like sports games, I just don't get.
I don't
It's
get
the
it.
same thing every year, right?
Yeah, I don't get it, but then at the same time,
Like,
when
what do
people are
they
like,
do?
you're still playing the same fighting
Like,
game.
what do
and
they
I'm
change?
Like, okay.
What do they change from like game to game? Like, it's not like we brought the home run contest back. It's like, no, it was in there the whole time. This is the home run contest. It's MLB. What are you doing? This is the home run contest. That's it. Like, that's the game right there. That's the whole game.
You're not wrong.
And it's like, oh, I play FIFA. What? So you play for 45 minutes and you realize like you don't like this game and then you beat your friends? Like, I don't get it. Like, why do you guys like this stuff? Like, oh, Madden. Yeah, throw the ball. Touchdown. Riveting. Yeah, I have no respect for sports games. I just don't respect that. And that's probably my bias. It's probably my bias, my own personal bias. Like, I won't apologize for it. I will not.
We will learn a lot about you today, Nerf.
Yeah. We've learned a lot about everything. That's the point.
All right,
That's why we do this.
let's see what else hasn't come out yet.
To educate the masses.
Caravan Stories. That sounds
Sounds like
god awful.
sounds like a knockoff of Oregon Trail.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like, which also sounds terrible.
Caravan Stories. It's like,
Ooh.
okay, what kind of caravan are we talking?
Ooh, your favorite game came out.
Oh yeah.
eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer.
Wait, eFootball? So is it football or soccer? I'm just kidding. I know it's probably soccer because we
Yeah,
all know football is we all know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's definitely soccer, but it's
But that's two sports in one, man.
it's just knockoff FIFA.
Why don't we do that? Why don't you just make it so that MLB, like the Madden, FIFA, all those are in one game. Just buy them as one. EA Sports is trying to cover too much. EA Sports, you know what you're doing.
I was about to say they're making bank. They're making dumb amounts of money off
I know,
2K.
but eventually people are gonna stop buying those games.
That's a lie.
I swear.
That is a lie.
Okay.
That's
maybe.
like saying eventually people will stop buying iPhones. No, they won't.
I suppose that's true. I suppose that is true. No, you got me there.
Fine. All right.
Who are you pointing?
Pointing at our
He's
production guy.
He's having sleep paralysis. He's like waking up in the middle
I
of the
just,
night.
I
and
just
be
want
like,
to drink. My mouth is so dry. Okay.
The look he gave
Yep.
you.
Yep. Okay.
The
Cool.
look he gave you is so good.
I can't get
I want
up.
to take a picture of that. Oh man, make that face again, no skills, please. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Ah, I got him.
And that's our new. and that's our new emote.
That's our new emote. Ugh.
All right.
That's what I want to see.
Gears 5 comes out on the 10th. No one cares.
No one cares.
Greedfall comes out on the 10th. Never heard of that.
Greed?
Greedfall.
Greed Fall?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know what that is. I don't know
What is that word? What is that?
I'll read it.
I'll wait.
I can't even.
I was about to say I'll wait.
Utawarerumanu. Utawarerumanu. Yeah, I can't. Zan. I know the second word. Zan. The
Okay.
second word is Zan. First word is who knows? How many syllables is that? Too many.
Yeah.
Don't buy that game. You can't even read it. How you? It's probably in Japanese. You probably can't. There's no translation.
And then you're like, "Hey, dog, what are you playing today?" And he just looks at you and he's like, "Yeah, I am."
God.
Thank you, No Skills.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
We got
so
the Wawa.
What is it? September 13th. Wow, is this just the month of the games that Nerf hates?
Yes.
Borderlands 3 is coming out.
I like Borderlands.
Daimon X Machina, another game
Daimon.
that looked similar to Astral Chain.
Yeah.
Which I've heard is a godsend.
I've heard Astral Chain is actually really good. I have heard that.
I've heard.
I wouldn't buy it because it's not my gameplay style. It's not.
It doesn't seem like my gameplay style, but I'm also in a terrible rut with video games right now.
Oh, really? You should
Yeah.
play WoW Classic.
And NHL 20.
NHL. Oh, my God. Of all the sports games to buy, why would you want to play hockey? At that point, 50% of the game is just a boxing game. Isn't it like? Do you get? Do you
I don't
get
think
to, like,
you actually get
do you
to
get to?
input.
Do you get to like fight as like a? Why not? If not, then it's not real hockey. How
That's
could it be
fair.
realistic?
That's fair.
How could it possibly be realistic? No, grapple. Urgh.
Bruh, what if they had what if they gave him like Tekken move sets? So it's like, ooh, I hit him with the F2
Oh no!
3.
Literally, it's like a mini game. It goes. It's like, oh wait, no, a fight's happening. Mini game. 3, 2, 1, fight. Do. Frame one jab.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right, AI, the big word that I don't know how to say.
AI, the Somnium files.
Yep,
Okay,
that's the
interesting,
word.
and that's on all platforms, well, except for the one
Except
that we
for-
don't. Except for the one we don't care about.
Which is the trash box.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to say it.
It's trash.
Oh, but remember, Sakurai himself said you should go play Banjo-Kazooie on the Xbox. Great advertisement.
No. So, Lego Jurassic World is out, just on the Switch.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like some of the Lego games are actually kind of nice.
Like
I haven't played them in the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
10.
No. Well, yeah, I was probably 16 when I played it, Max. That's probably true.
What was it?
Dude, Lego Star Wars was good. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie. Lego Star
Star
Wars is good.
Fire.
I didn't play Lego Indiana Jones. I heard that was okay.
But Lego Star Wars.
But that's only because you get LucasArts. So LucasArts was a nice company. Wish they kept doing their thing. But it happens.
All right. So we're going to wrap up this segmente.
Yep. So that wraps up that segment. We definitely have some more games, but
Wow, there's a lot of games.
You can
Wow.
look. You can look.
Hey,
those up
you know
yourself.
what else comes out?
What?
FIFA. FIFA 20 comes out this month.
You're just pointing these out. Like I'm sure there's so many. Look at that. And look right above it. Right above it. Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, that's
Echoes
not
of an Elusive
that's not important though.
Age.
FIFA comes out.
Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Listen, if you hate sports games or if you love sports games, this is your month. This is your month to shine.
I mean, it really is because it's like a car. Like the 2020 car is coming out right now because they have to like get up on it, right? They have to like release it early. Be like, oh, FIFA 2020 is coming out. And be like, well, too bad your vision's not 2020 because you can't see what the heck you're doing.
All right, but that's all we've got for today.
Yeah.
Next week we will be planning to do our segment which involves you. So
Right.
we'll talk when we
That's
talk
right.
about our topics. Feel free to interject, say something in chat. We will have someone take it down, and we will answer those questions in that segment. But this week we just have me and Nerf. So
For sure. And, of course, keep sending in clips if you have any. If you get anything cool in bracket or even out of bracket, even if you get on, like, Wi-Fi on your stream, whatever it is, send those clips in, especially if it's something that we haven't seen before. We want to see it. So
Yes.
we want to see, like, some cool plays. If you come up with something like, cool with Banjo or something this week, definitely send it to us. We want to see some of that tech, too. So send us all your clips. You can send that to the Cape Fairfax. Make sure that you are getting in on that early so that you can make it here on the stream.
yeah, for sure. But that's all I got for you. I'm Kingfuyoshi, and
I'm Nerf,
You
and
guys
this is
have
the
a
best of 5.